It's going again. It could be dead here. Butler is calling for the replay.
So it's all about going out there and making the most of the batting conditions. Russell, you can probably tell us a little bit more about that. You are out there yourself.
Yeah, dry pitch. You wouldn't see much of deterioration or wear and tear. In that sense, it looks good on the slower side. The slower you bowl, the more turn you'll get. But from a batter's point of view, when you bowl slow, you can create your own length because there's time to move around. So it's all about holding your nerve and creating those opportunities. You have to be tactically smart. You're not going to sit back and get the result you want.
Kusal Mendes, he's been pretty good this season. Top score 72, striking at 130. And it's going to be Pramod Madhushan, featured for the Aura for the latter matches in the LPL this season. It's been quite impressive, the opportunities he's taken. Maha?
Definitely he has been. I think if someone can get some lateral movement of this pitch, it'll be this bowler on screen now, Pramod Madhushan. He can do that naturally. Brings the ball back into the left-hander. That's Thanuka Dabare. We've seen up in Kandy. When he did that, he castled Dinashan Dikkala. Remember that very well. As the countdown begins, it's going to be a great game upon our cards.
They're going to have to try and hit the Gladiators hard, play attacking cricket, the Aura. Keep their chin-ups. And then make the numbers and see what they need to do with the bat. So a lot to think of, but for the moment, just attack the opposition. Give it a good go.
Yeah, if ever they've just got to forget about the kind of form they've been in, the disappointing performances they've had in the last couple of weeks, it's now. Go out there, give it your all. Outside edge, it goes down to third man. Won't carry, just the single.
Taking a closer look at this Dambulla outfit, there's so many youngsters, so many under 23 and 24 players. Without Dasun Shanak and Banu Rajapaksha with age and experience not in this team. You take Cruz Pulle, Dilum Sudhir, Chamit Jay Singh, all these players are young players who are coming through the system. So I think this is a great opportunity. It's an important game, yes. If they lose, they go home, and if they win well, they still have opportunity. So even that man on screen, Shevon Daniel, just 19.
No one to look up to. Now that's a good thing. So that means the responsibility is on you for these younger players. And there are people who shine in such situations.
Oh, nicely bowled. Good length. Bit of shape away from the right-hander.
When you have big names in the team, you sometimes sit back and wait for those players to perform. There's not much that has come their way from Bhanuka Rajapaksa and Dasun Shanaka as well. And hence the team goes nowhere. So now you wake up. Got to do it yourself. Maybe a good thing.
He won't be taking part in this evening's fixture. He'll be burning inside. Outside edge. Nobody in the gully region. Another single down to third man. But what I've liked, Pramod is definitely getting some swing here, and he's done well to pitch it up continuously.
That's his strength. Pitched it up. Kusal Mendes, captain, scored a magnificent 72 early on the tournament. Many goods well. Such class batter to have a look. And Pramod Madhushan will hold the key, as I said. New ball to make use of it. I think he has to bowl and well and pick up wickets early doors.
There's that swing again. Now he'll feel he's missed out. Tanuka Dabare gave himself a bit of room, looking to go through the offside, but he's hit that full toss straight. Backward point fielder.
And also an indication of he had only one option. Yes, you're premeditating, that's why you're coming down the wicket and giving yourself room. No problem with that. You look at the field, sometimes you look at how hard the bowler's bowling, and you make your move. But you got to have 2 or 3 options, otherwise that's what will happen. If it's not exactly where you want the ball, you need to have another option, at least get off strike. 1 over bowl, 2 for no loss.
ඔක්තෝබර් 30ක දක්වා රුපියල් බිලියනයක් වටිනා loyalty data GB මිලියන 20ක් නොමිලේ. SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබැඳියාව. Maggi Papare Spicy Chicken Flavor Noodles. Spicy වෙනසට set වෙන්න.
Life Boy ඉතරම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳපොලේ අඩුම මිල. රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water-repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert. අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster. මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Title sponsor, supported by many others. Presented by SkyExchange.net. Powered by sponsors 1xBet Fair Play News, Toyam Sports Limited. A host of other partners that have come on board to make season 3 as successful as it is. Lahiru Madhushankar. Well bowled. Very nicely bowled. Looks to me here, Maha, that they've made a concerted effort to make sure that they're getting that ball as full as possible early on.
And that's the strength of both of these bowlers, Madhushan as well as Lahiru Madhushankar. Pitching it up, taking it away from the right hand. They've got to do it. I'm surprised at least not a single slip fielder is there to start with. Option would be there to get the shot when you get into slip area. You need wickets against the Gladiators. They're top heavy in the middle order, not so experienced. There you go, just as I spoke, some movement, some bounce. Will that be tempting to Sikandar Raza to get a slip field in there?
Madhushankar has got national honours. An all-rounder he is. Now you mentioned picking up wickets, but it's not the type of wicket that you can go and blast out batters. You got to work your way in, and that working your way in is building pressure by bowling dots, being smart in the field, cut every run. And when suddenly the batters look up, it's eating into the overs and the scoreboard's not moving, that's where the problems happen.
Yeah, it's been a very encouraging start from the Dambulla aura. Sikandar Raza at the toss said that he was happy to chase because they want to know what they'll need at the end of the first innings. And that makes things more in control for yourself as opposed to having to bowl at a team and bowl them out in a certain amount of time.
The Gladiators playing for their strength, and Raza wants to know what exactly they're chasing. Simple. But in the end, it's all about who plays well on the particular day.
He had a good knock, Tanuka Dabare. That's where we all noticed him. Run out of the last ball of the innings. He played some wonderful shots, Tanuka Dabare. Uses his feet. You need to play the spinner, and awareness of where the field is set and where the bowler might bowl. But from a young player, what we'd like to see is do it again and again.
Down the wicket, looking to get after the bowling. Just talking about Tanuka Dabare, another of the players who wasn't originally in the first 11. When he got an opportunity, he took that opportunity. We've seen that as well. Shane Thomas with the ball in hand for the Candy Falcons. Sadira Samaravikrama after the first game for the Jaffna Kings, replacing Ramanullah Gurbaz. But as you say, don't do it just once or twice. You need to make sure you become consistent. Very easy to rest on your laurels once you get a first team place and think that you're going to remain there.
Be in our faces, be in the faces of the selectors. That's what you need to do. Do not leave it for discussion or potential. Keep proving yourself. That's the way to go.
Yeah, slow ball to finish. Confusion between the two. We'll get back safely. That's well backed up as well by the bowler. Wow, this is a very, very good start by Dambulla Ora. 2 overs gone, 3 for no loss.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Brand Week. A week for professionals.
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරම් ලොක්කා වෙළඳ පොලේ අඩුම මිල රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
බඩගිනි මායම් බිඳින්න Ritzbury Black Magic.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර subscribe කරන්න.
ඇප් තුනටම ඇති වෙනකම් data. SLT Mobitel Triple Buddy.
Sony 10 Sports at Derana in Sri Lanka, and then all over the world as well. India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Maldives, Pakistan, Afghanistan, the Caribbean, South and Sub-Saharan Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, South and Central America. So all over the world these pictures are going.
Chaminda Wickramasinghe trying to be unpredictable, changing the bowlers around. Now looking at the bowling lineup, Pramod Madhushan will be the leader of that pack. Hence use him when the captain wants to. Now we might sit here and say, okay, Galle Gladiators won the toss, they're going to bat first. Dambulla need to win and win well. But they ideally don't want to be chasing a score of 50 to 60. But that generally doesn't help the net run rate. A moderate score and get it quickly, that's the biggest impact that can have. So maybe chase around 130 and do that in about 10 overs, 11 overs. That's the best chance.
Now, nothing against young Wickramasinghe. I thought that first over from Pramod, 0 for 2, he would have got another opportunity here. Shape on the ball, experience. Interesting to just try and think about what the captain had in his mind.
I'm baffled. Got to be unpredictable, yes, but all of first over of such as that and creating that pressure, and all of a sudden changing to a bowler who has not played cricket for a long time. They have bowled much in practices, but it's different in match conditions. Madhushan was threatening with the swinging ball, so just don't understand what the tactics behind this decision.
Full toss with an offer. Bottom of the bat, it's put away, and suddenly they're flying. To answer your question, Tino, what was the captain thinking, or what has he got in his mind? Just throwing it out there. Nothing.
Well, I mean, it just didn't make much sense to me. Wonderful first over, 3 runs on the board after 2 overs. Now 2.5 overs, it's 11 runs on the board, 2 boundaries.
Yeah, as I said, got to be unpredictable, but sometimes you're too unpredictable, this is what happens. Not at all smart thinking by Sikandar Raza. I'm afraid I got to say that.
That's short. Is a man back on the deep square boundary. It'll just be 1. Noor Ahmed does the cleaning up.
Couple of balls ago, short and wide, he got it over point. Outfield is lightning quick. Now here, Tino, the point that I was trying to make earlier. Build up dots. That's the way to build pressure. It's that type of pitch where you have to frustrate the opposition and yourself, not be frustrated. Keep your chin up and bowl. Because you will only concede runs and invite pressure at this stage if you're feeding the batters. If you're trying too many things and feeding them, they will hurt you. Then you're gonna struggle. Build those dots. Force the batter to take chances. You'll be all over them and like a rash.
Now Maha's brought up a fair point. Hasn't played a lot of cricket, hasn't had game time with the ball. Training is very different to out in the middle. Now that's wide. You just dissect his over so far. Wide ball outside the off stump, full toss. Short and wide, next ball cut for 4. Short and straight, next ball pulled to deep mid wicket. Now wide down the leg side. Really has just released that pressure that those first 2 overs created.
Nerves. That's all Galle going to use. The first game he started well but ended up pretty bad. But in the end, it's all about holding your nerve. That's better. That's better. Fuller length and get Tanuka Dabare to play down the ground. It's very strong through the score of the wicket. Hierarchy of Sri Lanka cricket. Extreme left into Derana. Head of domestic cricket. Next to him is Mr. Samantha Dorangwela, the tournament director LPL, and Mr. Ashley Silva, Chief Executive Officer of Sri Lanka cricket. Just finishing up. Tanuka Dabare will be very dangerous. Anything short. Much better. Fuller slow ball this time. Feel that square for a moment. In the end, did well. We've all been in that situation, and we most of the time had let it go for a boundary. Decent bit of fielding by Cruz Pulle. 3 gone, 15 for no loss.
Cheese rasa tayalu set dekas smiley bedanava. Cheese buttons rasa danuna makoi kau rut pata benaba. Manchi rasa malakai cheese buttons dang alut vela.
Darana's Grand Christmas Sale. December 12 debit හා credit card පත් සඳහා අමතර 12%ක වට්ටම. පොලි නැතුව පාසු ගෙවීමේ ක්‍රම. නත්තල් අසිරිය ඔබේ දොරකඩ.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles, original equipment manufacturer approved, Nax Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
For none. Usal Mendes, a couple of boundaries in that 3rd over. And a change in bowling. Matthew Ford, successful yesterday with the ball. Ooh, a little bit of shape into the right-hander too.
My eyes are out there just looking at the energy and the body language of Dambulla. They're not in a good position. But those first 2 overs, when Tony went for 3 runs and how the 2 bowlers bowled from either end, they looked brilliant. They were onto the ball quickly, backing up, they were buzzing. And all of a sudden, that energy has disappeared because of that over. And that's what can happen to a team in such a situation. Every little negative can affect you big time. Here's an opportunity. Just over. It's a tough one to get to.
That's where you need the leaders in the middle. Sikandar Raza won't know much of these youngsters. Got to regroup as soon as possible. It's a huge task. That's where the local talent got to step up. Likes of Lairu Madhusank has been in the system for a very long time. He has been there, done it before. You've got the youngsters coming through. This is where all this energy should be put in one push towards that positivity. When Jordan Cox, I think he can play a huge role being the wicket keeper, passing information. So even I don't see that much of information being passed. That good aura what the Jaffna Kings, the Candy Falcons has it. This is encouraging by Ford, straight away bounce movement.
Yeah, and you bring up a valid point, and just thinking while you were talking, how important is it then to have local captains? Of course, that's what we've had. But in this situation, Sikandar Raza, probably a couple of youngsters who haven't played a lot in the matches that he's played in. How important is it to have local people as captains of these franchises, or having a couple of senior players who will be assisting if you've got a captain from outside of the country? We can come back to that conversation because we've got a boundary to talk about. Tanuka Dabare, strong there, wrong length, wrong line.
Yeah, it was a drag down, isn't it? Just dropped his shot, and Tanuka Dabare, as I said in my previous stint, is very strong through the square of the wicket. He sets himself up, when he's shot, his eyes sits up. Take a look at that for a boundary. It's a movement, but when it's that shot, the slowness of the pitch will allow you to play those cross-barrel strokes. Just to finish up on, I say, leaders. The captain can be an overseas player, that's fine, but you need local leaders. If you don't have that quality, overseas captaining aside, I understand. But you need leaders to information to be passed.
Oh, there's an opportunity here though. Up in the sky and he hangs on. He hangs on. That's relief. Tanuka Dabare trying to flick that onto the onside. Has to go back because they get a break. That's Lairu Madhushanka. Heart would have been in his mouth.
It was down the leg side. It was asking to be hit for boundary. Tanuka Dabare only got the elevation, couldn't time it. Plenty of air time. And Lairu Madhushanka has a reputation of being one of the best fielders going around. Oh, the edges of the fingers. But in the end, importantly, holds on. As Tanuka Dabare goes back for 7. Goal, 24-1.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි. Maggi Papare Spicy Chicken Flavor Noodles. Spicy වෙනසට set වෙන්න.
අපේ අම්මා දැන් shopping ගියාම ගෙවන්නෙම හෙලකුරු app එකේ. ස්කෑන් කළා ගෙව්වා.
සරලත්වෙන් රටම සවිබල ගන්නවන අපේම හෙලකුරු.
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරුම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳපොලේ අඩුම මිල රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water-repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert.
Breakthrough for Dambulla Aura. And that brings to the crease Shada Fernando. Very new to the Lankan Premier League. Lots to offer with bat in hand. Perfect opportunity for him. This is why he's there. It's on the legs and it's gone a long, long way. Probably just played that ball a little bit earlier than he would have liked, and that's why it's gone so high, as opposed to going so far. This man is a wicket taker. Big appeal. The umpire doesn't think so. Matthew Ford does.
Was it pad first or bat first? But the ball did swing. I think it was pad, but it did swing a long way though. We're gonna have a look.
TV umpire director, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. Start with front foot. Fair delivery. Front on spination, please. It's close. Can I have the ultra edge, please? Bat is behind. First impact is on the pad. Can you go to the ball tracking when it's ready? Original decision is not out. Pitching outside off. Impact in line. Hitting the wicket.
The umpire has had to change his on-field decision, and that's why there's huge cheers from the Dambulla Aura. That is an exceptional review. He just lost one ball. Shada Fernando, 20 for 1, becomes 20 for 2.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
Party life at the break up කරගෙන salsa නතන බා. ඕන වෙලාවක salsa රසට කට්ටියරොත් වෙන බා. මංචි රස බලකායේ salsa biscuits දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
It might be a getaway from the routines of every day, or even a grand story of empowerment. You see, joy is something you share with those you love and trust. And that is why we make banking enjoyable. HNB, a joy to bank with.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Hassan Shafiq. He's looked quite good in the matches that he's played so far this season.
hat-trick is Ford on the other end. Now they just keep chipping away. Just keep it simple. Now that's a quality shot. There's nothing you can do about it. Sikandar Raza draws that back. 3-2 Mendes. Just want to add to that question we were talking about earlier about the leadership. Looking at the Dambulla team, there's no other leader who's playing today. This is Oshida Fernando, ball swinging in nicely. A long way, in fact. So Oshida Fernando just happened to get that front foot in the way. He knew straight away. He knew it was pad first. Dasun Shanaka, Bhanuka Rajapaksa, as we mentioned, are the bigger players. They're not in the team. They've been dropped for performances. Youngsters around you. Sikandar Raza is the most experienced player, so you do have to go to him. That's what it is.
Oh, that's nicely. Oh my. It's gone straight through him. That's disappointing. Hassan Shafiq off the mark.
After the great start what they had, this does not wanted by Dambulla. Brilliant over by Matthew Ford in the previous one. A couple of big wickets. Oshida Fernando getting a golden duck, playing his first game. And this was not acceptable.
No, Hassan Shafiq is a quality player. Imagine finding that little gap. Amazing, isn't it? Delaying it where he plays it just to get it through.
I wonder what Sikandar Raza thinking right now to bring Pramod Madhushan to the 5th over rather than continuing and not stopping him bowling the 3rd over. Maybe a forced change. Wanted to get Chamindu Wickramasinghe with a hard new ball with his height to get some bounce, but certainly did not work. But tell you what, young West Indian bowler from the far end did find the right length and found movement as well. And tactically, Galle Gladiators keeping Azam Khan late. There's something that got to see how it's going to work.
Oh, there's width there. No, he hasn't got himself in the best position to be able to execute the stroke. That's why that bat's just closed on the ball, gone straight into the ground. Plenty of local sponsors, and we've been paying tribute to them. Munchie Kome, one of them. Tasty rice crackers we've enjoyed throughout the competition. That's short, pulled into the onside. Well fielded. Ooh, direct hit would have been interesting.
But you got to admire what he tried to do, Ford. Attack the ball. He's on the circle. Look at, he reads it. He's on to it. Direct hit. He's got his man. And a big one, Azad Shafiq. That's the type of effort you want, whether it works or not.
Threw off balance. If you had taken a couple of seconds, or maybe a second, and taken aim, it would have been a much better effort, in my opinion.
Oh, he's all over the place, Matthew Ford. 2 wickets in the last over. Energetic in the field. End of the 5th over, 29 for 2.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Brand Week. A week for professionals.
More love, more fun. Ritsbury Chocomo.
Life boy itarum lokka. Velana pale aduma mila. Rupial 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
SLT Mobitel Mobile Non-Stop Locker. ඔබ කැමතිම app 9ට ඇති වෙනකන් data.
Ready. Drawing interests. Matthew Ford with 2 wickets in the last over. Last 2 balls of his last over. Doesn't get the hat-trick. Doesn't get the hat-trick. We already saw a hat-trick this season
from Wanindu Hasaranga. It was his second wicket. Wicket of Ushada Fernando. He had to go for the review. I just love the celebration. Typical West Indian celebration. All heart, all energy, all effort. Roshan, tell us about it.
Yeah, indeed. He looks that kind of a player. Very excitable. Also swings the ball, and it's pretty nippy, isn't he? Hurried the batter that time.
Yeah, he has impacted the game. Got his first opportunity yesterday. He looked good. And in this crucial game, he has led the way. Sniff of a chance for Dambulla. The captain has to keep on reminding his players. Restrict them to 130. Oh, flirting with danger. Asher Shafiq, not only the bounce, but that ball moved away. He's getting the ball to talk.
Any fast bowler with that ability to swing the ball or seam the ball off the surface will always be a handful. Conditions here favouring the seam bowlers because of the extra bounce and that bit of grass covering that allows for the lateral movement. And in the night matches, of course, the swing that we've seen. Good call.
The reason why they are taking risks, scoring those singles, because boundaries are hard to find. And it tells you that these bowlers have bowled with immaculate liner length. And they've been assisted by the conditions too.
Matthew Ford, the only bowler so far into his second over. We've already seen 4 options used by Dambulla with the ball. This might be another wicket. Yes! Brilliance from the new captain, Sikandar Raza. There is a different determination with him and this Dambulla Aura group.
And the man in form departs, the captain, Kusal Mendes. That is a big scout. He's Dambulla Aura in their final outing, turning it on.
Well, Dambulla Aura is technically still in with a chance, but it's a massive mountain that they may have to climb. But what about that catch? Leading from the front, Sikandar Raza throwing himself, and that is Kusal Mendes. It's gone for 17. It's 31 for 3 in the 6th over.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles. Original equipment manufacturer approved Nax Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
Manchi rasa balakai snack cracker dang alut vela.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert.
And a significant difference to this Galle Gladiators scorecard. Surely with lots of potential as a player.
That's a big wicket. Chancing his arms. The ball slightly leaving him, hence the top edge, and a brilliant catch. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Azam Khan is going to approach this. Is he going to go his merry way, or is going to show some responsibility? 31 for 3.
Body life like a breakup, karagana salsa na tanaba. One vela vak salsa rasa taka kierot benaba. Manchi rasa balakay salsa biscuits dang alut vela.
Life boy itarum lokka. Velana pale aduma mila. Rupial 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
Maggi Papare Spicy Chicken Flavor Noodles. Spicy වෙනසට set වෙන්න.
SLT Mobitel Mobile Non-Stop Locker. ඔබ කැමතිම app නමයට ඇති වෙනකන් data.
Dara's Grand Christmas Sale. දෙසැම්බර් 12 සිට debit හා credit card පත් සඳහා අමතර 112ක වට්ටම. පොලි නැතුව පාසු ගෙවීමේ ක්‍රම. නත්තල් අසිරිය ඔබේ දොරකඩ.
End of the power play, a very good one for Dambulla Oro. 31 for 3 Galle Gladiators in this very important last match of the group stage.
Starts off with the wide, but that's a good change. Madhushanka is the sort of bowler who could get the ball to wobble off the surface. They need wickets. And daily of Asad Shafiq.
A couple of overs ago, I saw Sikandar Raza give chase to on drive from Kusal Mendes. Pulled it back, and now this brilliant catch. That's another one. They're tumbling Galle Gladiators. A real special effort with the ball we're seeing here from Dambulla Oro.
Well, they found some inspiration, I'll tell you. They look pretty ordinary in the last game, but they have certainly found their mojo. They're really doing well here. You can't keep this man out. Ford, he's got 3 wickets, now he holds on to a catch. And another big wicket. Asad Shafiq gone for 6. Galle, 32 for 4.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක live බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialog Fun Blaster. මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Whether it's a possibility of something new or that playful moment between the two of you. You see, joy is something you share with those you love and trust. And that is why we make banking enjoyable. HNB, a joy to bank with.
Badakin Maya Bidilla, Ritzbury, Black Magic.
Up, you want to do Fernando at the crease. 23 years of age, the right-hander with a big task.
Asad Shafiq. It's definitely a big wicket. And he has left his partners to deal with harrowing situation. The ball is doing something for the bowlers, holding on to the surface. Batting hasn't been easy. How these two are going to deal with this situation to avert it.
This is perfect for Lahiru Madhushanka. He's not express, but this is exactly what he does. He looks to go full, looks to find seam and swing movement. And this is perfect. This is a perfect setting as far as he's concerned. He could attack with his lines and lengths.
Yeah, both Madhushanka and the other 3 bowlers, out of the 39 deliveries that we've seen in this innings, they've only conceded 4 boundaries. That's very, very impressive.
And that's why they're way ahead in this game. By stringing those dot deliveries, creating pressure on the batters, impelling them to take few chances. And in the process, have picked up 4 wickets. Way ahead in this game. Dambulla.
You spoke about the 4 boundaries. They started off well, the Galle Gladiators, and then this wicket. Also the Fernando playing in his first game. And then Kusal Mendes to a magnificent catch. Look at the number of dot balls, 24. That's 4 overs of dot balls out of 6.4. That's amazing, that's wonderful.
I guess the bigger question is why haven't Dambulla Aura produced this type of effort with the ball over the course of the tournament? Clearly the talent is there. You might know Roshan Abasinga.
Well, the only thing I could say is that they have nothing to lose here. I mean, they're virtually out of it, and they're playing for something. They're playing for their pride. And, well, if they can win it, if they can win well, they got so much to gain, nothing to lose.
Ganga, their bowling looked ordinary. But tonight, they're looking good. Picking up wicket, 7 down, 34 for 4.
Hi. Oh no. Huh? Huh? Hi.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර subscribe කරන්න.
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරුම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳ පොලේ අඩුම මිල. රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
පාරිමෝඩ් එක ඔන් කරගෙන අපි දවස ගෙවනවා. ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා. මංචි රස බලකායේ අනියන් බිස්කට්ස් දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Final, so to speak, on our hands. Winner of this will qualify, of course. Depending on net run rate in the case of the Dambulla Aura, but if Galle Gladiators win, they go through to the playoffs.
Good captaincy from Sikandar Raza, persisting with the bowler who has picked up 2 wickets, 3 wickets, beg your pardon, and he is getting the ball to do a lot. That one hurried on to Azam Khan. Oh, he's challenging the batsman, that's for sure.
Talk about the bounce. That certainly bounced. As Amir said, it was going on quite quickly and then bounced, hit him on the forearm. But on the subject of this game, Galle and Dambulla, this is the best situation Dambulla could be in, hoping to try and bowl Galle Gladiators for a small score and chase it down quickly. Now look at the net run rate, look at the difference. Both teams are minus. Another single.
He swung the ball nicely. Matthew Ford, who hails from Barbados, from round the wicket, swings the ball away from the right-handers and from over the wicket into the right-handers. So, showing his skill.
Tell me, is he bowling with the new ball? You see that kind of swing with the older ball, scruffed up. This is amazing. And he's been rewarded.
Yeah, asking that question outside the off stump. Right-hander will know that he has that ability to bring the ball in. So you're always searching to play at the ball in anticipation of it coming into you. That's where that delivery that runs on straight is so effective in finding the outside edge. Evidence of that swing. It's double the average that we've seen.
You brought up a good point. If a batsman, a bowler is swinging the ball back into the stumps, batsman commits themselves to play on the front foot, and if the ball leaves them, if they are overcommitted, there is a chance of nicking the ball. This has been challenging for the batsman and enjoyable.
You spoke of swing. What about the bounce? Swing and bounce together, that's a deadly combination. That's exactly what Ford has.
Yeah, just like Roshan and the mic. After 8, it's 36 for 4.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialog Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Brand Week, a week for professionals.
Darana's Grand Christmas Sale දෙසැම්බර් 12 සිට 80ක් දක්වා වට්ටම්. එක රුපියලකින් අදහා ගන්න බැරි තෑගි දිනා ගන්න අවස්ථාවක්. දැන්ම ප්ලේ කරන්න.
impressive effort with the ball. Spectators even dancing to the tune of the bowling that we've seen in this match number 20.
At the toss, the way Sikandar Raza spoke to you, Darren, he was brimming, he was chirpy, looking very confident. And the first ball we saw, we could feel that spring in the feet. They were up for the challenge. Have arrived, Dambulla. Parking. Oh, good delivery. That one turned.
Might have been a little bit of bat as well. But a great start to Noor Ahmed. It's a perfect start and perfect occasion for a spin bowler to arrive in an innings.
Now, just to try and understand the challenges ahead of Dambulla, now let's try and get into a situation, a hypothetical situation where Galle gets 120 in 20 overs. And then Sue tells me that if Dambulla is to qualify, they need to get those runs in 10 overs and 4 balls. Now that's how tough the task is going to be. This has gone fine.
But good to see Dambulla playing for their pride. Result will take care of itself. What they need to do is finish this LPL on a high. Now what good they have done, Dambulla. They knew if you get rid of the openers early, middle order has been struggling. When it comes to Galle Gladiators, they've been cashing in by picking up wicket consistently. And this man in the picture can pick up few wickets for his side. He's turning the ball, he's landing the ball in the right areas.
I'm keen to find out from you guys if you were surprised when Kusal Mendes won the toss. He opted to bat first. Are you guys surprised at all with that decision at the toss?
I certainly did. I really thought, just to play it safe, not being negative here, but just to try and rule out whatever situation, the best was to try and put Dambulla in, put some pressure on them, because the batting is not great, they're struggling. But he opted to go the other way, and mind you, with a new look side. That's a huge gamble. 38 for 4, 9 overs gone. It's time for that strategic time.
Tap TikTok non-stop TikTok යන TikTok data plan දින 7ක් සඳහා රුපියල් 115ක් සහ දින 30ක් සඳහා රුපියල් 385ක් පමණයි. අදම ඇක්ටිවේට් කරගන්න. SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබඳියාව.
More love, more fun. Ritsbury Chocomo.
අම්මයි තාත්තයි විතරක් නෙවෙයි. දැන් අපේ සීයත් ගෙවන්න හෙලකුරු වලින් ස්කෑන් කළා ගෙව්වා.
සරලත්වෙන් රටම සවිබල ගන්නන අපේම හෙලකුරු.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
It could be a feeling that brings you together, or even their passion to change the world. You see, joy is something you share with those you love and trust. And that is why we make banking enjoyable. HNB, a joy to bank with.
Maggie Papare spicy chicken flavor noodles. Spicy වෙනසට set වෙන්න.
Lifeboy ඊතරම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳ පොලේ අඩුම මිල. රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster. මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles. Original equipment manufacturer approved, Max Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
Body life at the breakup කරගෙන salsa නතනවා. ඕනෙ වෙලාවක salsa රසට කට්ටියරොත් වෙනවා. මංචි රස වලකායේ salsa biscuits දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
Maggi Papare Spicy Chicken Flavor Noodles. Spicy වෙනසට set වෙන්න. අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster. මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert.
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරුම් ලොක්කා වෙළඳ පොලේ අඩුම මිල රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
Calypso එක්සක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා. Calypso එක්කලා යුත් එකම කුල්මත් වෙනවා. හදවාදින මංචි රස බලකායේ නවතම රසය. Calypso biscuits.
Chat වල නෑනේ රෙස්ට් ගන්නේ. Data ගැන නෑනේ worry වෙන්නේ. Messenger වල නේ වාසිකයෝ. Messenger වල නේ වාසිකයෝ.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Brand Week. A week for professionals.
After 9 overs, this is the 5th time that the Galle Gladiators find themselves batting first in this tournament. They've lost quite a few wickets in the power play, 3 to be exact. Matthew Ford, he's been on fire, another West Indian fast bowler amongst the wickets. This was a brilliant catch by the captain, Sikandar Raza. Nasser Shafiq just playing across the line, getting a leading edge, and wickets tumbled in favour of Dambulla Aura.
Yeah, Ford was definitely ablaze. Another bowling change. Tilaka. Sachita is another cricketer who bowls quicker through the air. To your query, whether it was a just call to bat first in this game, as we see people getting Shakti to do things. Yeah, for me that was a good call by the captain, because you have to consider quite a few things. Dew hasn't factored in here in Colombo. The other thing, when you talk about chasing, their middle order hasn't worked. They haven't responded well throughout this competition, and they rung few changes in their middle order. So chasing would have been difficult. And then you talk about opposition. Apart from their openers, nobody has come to the fore. So if you account these things, for me that was an okay call. And to top it, this pitch is tiring. It's offering a bit of grip to the bowlers.
Well, the 2 wins secured by Galle Gladiators. On both occasions they batted first. That could also be a factor in the decision. At the moment, Galle Gladiators not justifying that decision, you would say, to bat first, because they're 40 for 4. I mean, into the 10th over. Maybe the second half of the innings could be different.
You have to bat well. It was a decent over. Tilaka, halfway through, 41 for 4.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර subscribe කරන්න.
බඩගින් මායම් පිදින්න. Ritzbury Black Magic.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster. මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
6 bowlers used. Matthew Ford, the outstanding numbers there, 3 for 9. Lairu Madhushanka as well. 2 overs, 1 for 4. Spin from both ends, Noor Ahmed. It's 41 for 4. The innings still not started to go anyway. Azam Khan's back in the team. Not a real massive effort to get a move on, is it? They're also quite tentative, the Gladiators. Maybe it's direction, maybe at the back of their minds they know, as long as they don't get stepped upon, they'll be all right, and that can push you into that zone.
the most appropriate mindset to have playing in this type of game when you're looking at qualifying in a top 4.
I'm with you, but we as players tend to get caught in strange situations. Thought processes get muddled up. See that happen time and time again, and we always talk about the fact that put the pressure on the opposition, and that's what it means. Pressure would mean creating a sense of doubt or the fear of failure, and then see what decisions are made. Some thrive in such situations, some really do mess it up.
Given what we've seen from the seamers in this innings so far, I just feel that sometimes as a captain, you've got to persist with your seamers alongside a spinner in an attempt to continue the stranglehold that you have on the opposition batters. Haven't seen Sikandar Raza just yet, but I feel there's enough in this surface for the seamers to continuously make an impact throughout the innings. We'll talk about that in the next over. 11 overs gone, 42 for 4.
Darana's Grand Christmas Sale දෙසැම්බර් 12 සිට 80ක් දක්වා වට්ටා. එක රුපියලකින් අදහ ගන්න බැරි තෑගි දිනා ගන්න අවස්ථාව. දැන්ම ප්ලේ කරන්න.
Cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා. Cheese buttons රස දැනුනම කොයි කවුරුත් මට පෙනවා. මංචි රස බලකායේ cheese buttons දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතුරුම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳපොලේ අඩුම මිල. රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
අපේ තාත්තා දැන් ලියන්නෙත් හෙළකුරු වලින්, ගෙවන්නෙත් හෙළකුරු වලින්. ස්කෑන් කළා ගෙව්වා.
සරලත්වයෙන් රටම සවි බල ගන්නවන අපේම හෙළකුරු.
Another change in the bowling. Changing it around. This is the 7th. Take Sikandar Raza into that. That's 8 bowlers. Dilum Sudhira, he's played in a couple of games so far. 1 for 35, 2 for 19.
Come on here, boy.
In yesterday's game.
Matthew Ford, who's been in brilliant form today, had got some movement, some bounce of this pitch, which is showing a little bit wear and tear, but he was up there. Kusal Mendes is neatly taken by Sikandar Raza. What I like about him is a wrist position. When he doesn't swing, he just holds on to the line and goes straight. That's what most of the batters, when they play for the in swing, if it doesn't, if the length is good in the front foot, you see most of the batters nick off. I see, and I remember a lot of Nuwan Kulasekar in that. So I reckon he has been top-notch signing for the Dambulla.
He somehow gets there, Jayatilaka.
Just to finish the point I was making, because of that heavy bias to seam and the output of wickets to the seam bowlers, I would have advocated continuing with one of the 3 fast bowling options in between the spin. Because when you look at this Galle Gladiators batting lineup, beyond this batting pair, there's Imad Wazim. And you could easily find yourself bowling against the lower order, maybe in the 15th, 16th over, where you don't really need to close the innings off. That's an attacking option you can use as a captain.
You want to keep mixing it up, not let the batters get used to the pace of the game. It's a known fact, we've been harping about it, that this pitch is on the slower side. It's not one that you can blast your way through, but you've got to be smart on. Now what the Aura are doing well is they're dangling the carrot, even the spinners. Just putting it there. You want something, create it. take a risk. 12 bowled, 47 for 4.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
ඇප් තුනටම ඇති වෙනකම් data. SLT Mobitel Triple Buddy.
More love, more fun. Ritsbury Chocomo.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles. Original equipment manufacturer approved, Max Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialog Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි. Maggi Papare Spicy Chicken Flavor Noodles. Spicy වෙනසට set වෙන්න.
7 from 15, he has one of the better strike rates against spin bowlers. Now mind you, he's not in really good form, so Dambulla might get away with using spin options through these middle overs. And they're not using that spin option, so I like this.
So this is what you wanted. Looks like they want to change the pace of the game. Wickramasinghe bowled 1 over for 12. He's whipped it away. Oh, brilliant! How good was that? Jaya Tilaka! He's plucked a mango out of the tree.
Jaya Tilaka just lost for words. What a catch. For a moment I thought it's going to 6. Sachin Jaya Tilaka, a product of St. Thomas's, a water polo champion, a ruggerite, a cricketer, and does that in style. Last year did well for Dambulla. Oh, just not there, just not there. It's a heartbreaker it's going to be if it's called a no ball.
They wanted to have a look. We heard that in our ear. Well, how unfortunate. This is a Dara's innovative play. The catch of the tournament. Jaya Tilaka, it's not easy. He's a big lad. Oh dear, oh dear. Only themselves to blame. Dambulla Ora, they're at the bottom of the table. It's all to do with being clumsy right throughout the tournament.
And what a waste of brilliance. Overstepping. And the run of play producing that special effort in the field. Jaya Tilaka. Wow. Superb. Getting off the ground. Plucking it out of the air. Not making contact with the advertising cushion. That's impressive. Very impressive.
Yep. It's a mango. Yep. Can you pluck it out of the tree? Yes. Brilliant. He goes again. Falls short of Noor Ahmed.
You're often told when you have an opportunity to complete a catch, the first thing you do, you judge or try to judge the trajectory of the ball, so you position yourself where you feel the ball is going to drop. On this occasion, would not have known where that ball was going to land, and also had very little time to react. Had to go on instinct. Great hand-eye coordination, you can say, from Jaya Tilaka.
'50s on the board. Changing the pace of the game. That's what's happening. Chaminda Wickramasinghe landing it short.
Well, well, well. This is not the length you want to bowl on this surface. All deliveries so far in this over. Too short. Just standing up. Saying to the batter, hit me where you want.
Well, you wanted seam, but you got to still hit the right areas. Try and keep it fuller rather than shorter on slower pitches.
Yeah, that option of seam I was advocating doesn't guarantee that Dambulla Aura would get success in terms of wickets, but I just feel sometimes you've got to play according to the situation, the conditions, and the opposition as well. I didn't mention the fact that Azam Khan, he favours batting the slower bowlers, the spinners. In T20 cricket, his strike rate is superb against that style of bowlers.
Azam Khan trying to go a long off. I'm trying to get your point, Derana. I'm just thinking. I understand what you're trying to say with fast bowlers in form, with pace and variation. What Dambulla does not have, with Vikram Singh being so inexperienced, as well as Lairu Madhusanka with the new ball, he is the most dangerous when it comes to the latter part of it. He doesn't have that much of skills. And got the rest of the two fast bowlers all together, they just have 3 overs among themselves to finish off the innings. So I understand why Sikandar Raza is not bringing in. And quite reluctant to do it, and he bought it for Chaminda Vikram Singh for 1 over. When you don't have the quality, but you expect in the team, you just have to live with it. And that's where I think he has done so far really well. No Rama, 2 more overs. He will finish it off. 2 by Pramod Madhushan and 1 by 4. That means 18 overs. Just have to get through overs each. Probably Dilum Sudhira will finish off. So this is a horses for courses for me. And at the moment, I think Sikandar Raza is doing a decent one.
Yeah, point taken. Could have been better off with Madhushanka, maybe Pramod, Madhushan. 2 of the more experienced options.
$13 ball, 57 for 4.
ජීවිතේම ජර්නි එකක් ගෑව පාට පාට. හැබැයි මම තමයි මගේ ලයිෆ් එකේ නැවිගේටර්. ෆ්‍රී එකේම පාවෙනකොට life is like magic. Apple වගේ simple නේ ජීවිතේට logic. හෙළදීප් ice day. ඕන වෙලාවක set වෙන drink එක.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Brand Week, a week for professionals.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. view app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර subscribe කරන්න.
$57 for 4, last 30 balls, 21 runs produced, no wickets though.
Inside out, he's got hold of this one. It's another 6. First one to Azam Khan.
This is why I said Azam Khan will thrive on spin bowlers at this phase of the innings. He's very good at attacking spinners, and he's done so effectively throughout his career. That's a fine stroke, opens up, gets enough bat on it.
That's bowled him. The nicely bowled, a little quicker. He saw Azam Khan coming and bowled it into the pitch. It was a matter of time because he was swinging at everything, wasn't it? No control at all.
Indeed, we've seen a reckless type of aggression from him. You knew that there was going to be a chance for Dambulla Aura to get his wicket. Use of the feet, missing the line with the stroke, and Azam Khan is no more. Gone for 15, 63 for 5.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
බඩගින් මායම් පිදිල්ල. Ritsbury Black Magic.
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරුම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳ පොලේ අඩුම මිල. රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles. Original equipment manufacturer approved, Nax Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
Calypso Mexico on the lava, the Nagalama and the bar. Calypso Ekala youth, the Kama, cool must be a Hanawa than a Manchira Balakai and Navat Morase, Calypso biscuits.
Imad Wazim. New batter. They're not just not able to break free. Keep dangling the carrot. Let the batter make the play. Azam Khan. They're come out with just the one plan. He just got one proper shot, but other than that, lots of miss hits. No pace at all. I like it what Dulim Sudhira is doing. By the time Imad Wasim looks up, the over will be done. That's what you do. Get through it quick.
Yeah, Azam Khan today is the only time he has gone to double figures. Played the first 3 games, it's all been single figures. And that shot just reminds me of he's still in a T10 mood. Just not the what. And Dulim Sudhira, very interesting. Lee being for the third, second over as well, and probably finish up the 4 overs the way he's bowling.
Sikandar Raza sitting on the circle. Probably forgot that Azam Khan's out. For Azam Khan, you sit on the circle. There won't be any quick singles. Now Azam Khan probably wouldn't have got to double figures if that outstanding catch, that innovative play by Jaya Tilaka had stood. Fortunately, a no ball bowled. Yep, just that 6 makes the over look an expensive one. 14 bowled, 66 for 5.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Lifeboy ඉතුරුම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳ පොලේ අඩුම මිල රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
ඔබ කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වේලාවක කිසිදු බාධාවකින් තොරව TV එකකින් වාගේම දෙරණ බලන්න. ඔබේ ජංගම දුරකථනයෙන් පිවිසෙන්න. TV දෙරණ live YouTube නාලිකාවට.
Unable to go on. No one in the Fernando, who usually is a good striker of the ball. He's biding his time. Strike rate down at 64. Noor Ahmed, 2 overs for 3 runs.
I love to see Sikandar Raza attacking against Imad Wasim. Noor Ahmed is attacking bowler. If he can sneak in one more wicket from this pair, that'd be a huge blow to the Gladiators. Somehow just get probably short mid wicket in that area. Just let the bowler feel, the batsman feel that they're after him, and probably if they sneak in a wicket, all to play for.
For Galle Gladiators, they're approaching that acceleration phase of the innings. The last 5 overs, most teams, they tend to go all out to score as many runs as possible. So despite losing 5 wickets, there is that dire need for attack, for run scoring, which might create a few more opportunities for wicket taking.
8 and over 112, 10 and over 123. Now if it sits around 100 to 110, what the aura need, I think that suits them. In a chase, in a quick chase where they're looking to up that net run rate, in a short dash, you back yourself.
No.
Maybe a 40-50 run chase won't help. But maybe around 100, 110. Sikandar Raza.
Yeah, he's well invested in this role. As the stand-in captain, Sikandar Raza impressed me a lot at the toss. Quite relaxed, very much to the point, very honest in the way he spoke. Very, very good sign for Dambulla aura. I like it.
I did hear him speaking to you, Darren, and I thought he's a player who speaks from the heart. That's what he did. He was very, very honest the way he did, and he said what exactly be done. This is what happened 2 days before. Car point, because short extra cover fielder. That's with Cruz Pulle. Does that. Slides in across.
Gone. Noor Ahmed gets a wicket. It's Imad Wasim who goes. They are in it, the Dambulla aura, and they believe.
I wanted a slip fielder. Wasn't there, but the short extra cover fielder does the job. Noor Ahmed is bought in to pick up a wicket. Just what Dambulla needed to put some brakes on, more brakes on. The Galle Gladiators, the young Noor Ahmed delivers when it matters, and Sikandar Raza holds on to it.
There is that captain again, willing his bowlers on. He's been an example in the field, catching, feeling, and they've accounted for Imad Wazim. Gone for 3, 68 for 6.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
We just saw the reaction of Sikandar Raza a couple of balls ago. Well, Cruzpool is lucky it was Sikandar Raza. If it was me, he would have heard a lot more. It's not a time to be clumsy, it's a time to be precise. Stay focused, there's a job to be done, and you're in it.
Single. Hence the over. It is 69 for 6 with 5 overs to go.
ගනුදෙනු මේ ලෝකේ හැම දෙයක්ම රඳා පවතින්නේ ගනුදෙනු මත. හැම දෙයක්ම යුතුයකම්, වගකීම්, අයිතිවාසිකම්, සාධාරණය, විශ්වාසය, සමානාත්මතාවලින් බැඳුණු ගනුදෙනුවල සීමා මායින් බිඳින යන අවස්ථාවක අපට සිද්ධ වෙනවා නීතිය හොයාගෙන යන්න. නීතිය කියන්නේ කාටත් ආත්මාරක්ෂාවක්.
Right, it's been a sorry state by the Galle Gladiators. The question is, have they brought it upon themselves? I think we discussed this matter earlier on. Amir Sohail felt it was the right decision to bat first. None of the Galle batters have really gone on. And look at the groupings. Just look at the groupings of the Dambulla spinners. They've been very good. Sikandar Raza. Oh, short and wide. Just a couple of runs. Amir Sohail and Tino Muaya with me. And, Amir, do you still hold on to this thought of yours about batting first?
Yeah, you have to bat well. You know, you win the toss, and Galle Gladiators are much better than that. Now have a look at that. There was no commitment behind that stroke. You know, yes, the ball was responding to the ball. They were wobbling in the air for 4, and he was getting the deviation of the surface. But at this level, top order batsman, they've got to have a defensive technique. If you can't defend the ball, you shouldn't be there. It's been disappointing. But taking nothing away from Dambulla, they exploited the conditions very well. They came out with a purpose, led well. The entire team responding well to the captain. And what was required to pick up wickets at regular interval, that's what they were able to achieve. Now controlling the game.
Yeah, I still feel that they will need to just keep getting those wickets. Of course, they're going to need to chase this down in the least amount of time possible. So, back of their minds, 74 for 6 is good. With 4 overs and 2 balls to go, but they can't afford them to get many more. Got to look to bowl them out.
Well, he's been mixing it up. Sikandar Raza. That was bowled with a leg spin action.
It was more like the wrong arm that he attempted, just going down the leg side. But yeah, just getting back to what you said. So the decision basically is right, but we're all talking about the execution. Execution has been poor.
See, it's been a whistle for them. Oh, that's close. That is close. Yeah, he had to refer it.
TV umpire director, we have a player review for LPW. Original decision is not out. Start with the front foot. Fair delivery, go to the front on position. Ball passes close to the bat. I need the outrage. Ball forward. Flat line, satisfied, no bat involved. Go to the ball tracking when it's ready. Original decision is not out. Pitching in line, impact in line. Hitting the wickets. Ravi, need to change your decision to out. Let you know.
Well, it's a bit surprising as to why that he was not given out by the umpire. Because to me, naked eye, I thought it was good. He looked plump. Goal, they lose their 7th wicket. Nimesh Vimukti goes for 5. 75 for 7.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
Sri Lanka is at a crossroad. So much to say, so much to know. More Sri Lankans turn here than any other newscast. Undoubtedly, that's why this is Sri Lanka's #1 most watched newscast across all platforms.
Ada Derana 24, Sri Lanka's #1 news source. Lanka Premier League 2022. Galle Gladiators. Colombo Stars. Jaffna Kings. Dambulla Aura. Candy Falcons.
SVD සුපිරි ක්‍රීඩකයන්ගෙන් සැදුම්ලත් කණ්ඩායම් 5 දින 18ක් පුරා උද්වේගකර තරඟ 24ක් දෙසැම්බර් 6 වෙනිදා සිට 23 වෙනිදා දක්වා සියලු තරඟ සජීවීව අද දෙරණ 24 නාලිකාව ඔස්සේ කොළඹින් UHF 26 දෙනියායෙන් UHF 35න් මහනුවරින් UHF 28න් මාතලෙන් UHF 35 ඩිජිටල් අවකාශයේ සජීවීව තරඟ නැරඹීම සඳහා අද දෙරණ YouTube නාලිකාවට සහ අද දෙරණ Facebook පිටුවට පිවිසෙන්න.
Lanka Premier League 2022. Live and exclusive. Only on Ada Derana 24.
දෙහි දුවදරුවන්ගේ වෘත්තීය අධ්‍යාපනය නංවාලීමේ අරමුණින් අද දෙරණ එඩියුකේෂන් හා ජාතික තරුණ සේවා සභාව එක්ව ගෙනේන වෘත්තීය මාර්ගෝපදේශන පුහුණු පාඨමාලා වැඩසටහන පෙළ
Skills Development
සෑම සෙනසුරාදා සහ ඉරිදා දිනකම උදෑසන 7:30ට අද දෙරණ එඩියුකේෂන් නාලිකාවෙන්.
The Galle Gladiators, they're in a very, very difficult situation. Wahab Riaz comes out. He's got some credentials as someone who could really tonk it. Hasn't scored many runs, but 117 is his strike rate.
He's got 4 overs to throw his bat around if that's the way he wants to go. Nuanidu Fernando, 19 of 28. He's been holding that innings together. Nairu Madhushanka. Well, what about this what about the Dambulla Aura team? Where have they found the inspiration? What has been so special today?
Got few wicket-taking bowlers. Yeah, not the right technique. Weight falling towards the off stump. And the arc of the bat changed. That's why he missed the ball. And led ably by Sikandar Raza, urging the players to bring their best. Another good bowling change. He's been impressive. He has bowled within himself. His focus was to land the ball in the right areas. Yes, the surface was holding the ball. He was getting a bit of movement. But bowled with discipline. Picked up wicket and has been very economical.
Oh, that's picked up. That might have found the gap. No, it hasn't. Noor Ahmed does the fielding. The only thing I'll say, if I can be a bit critical of this man on screen, is the fact that I would have liked to see Madhushanka bowl another over up front. Could have been an opportunity as well as he bowled to try and just sneak out another wicket.
Yeah, that was a weak moment. When that change didn't work, the bowler went for plenty. Whipped away once again by Wahab Riaz.
Well, we've been critical of him, but he's been pretty inspirational. Sikandar Raza, he's spoken to his team, he's spoken to the young men, given them words of wisdom. He led from the front. And he's also been very quick to acknowledge. But about the point of he not bowling earlier on, but I think this team is handicapped by the fact that they don't have death bowlers. I believe Madhushanka and Pramod Madhushan would be the ones who would bowl at the death. So that could have been possibly the reason why that the script has been written in that way, or at least the plan has been set up that way.
I understand the death, but the first 4 overs were bowled by 4 different people. All I'm saying is, of the 2 opening bowlers, I would have wanted to see just one of them at least, as well as they bowled, having another go at the second over and a new ball.
This is 6. Not the quickest, and that length is not advisable. Last ball of the over, 12 of it, 87 for 7.
අපේ රට තීරණාත්මක සන්ධිස්ථානයක පැවසිය යුතු දැනුම්බත් විය යුතු දේ බොහෝයි. ජනතා විශ්වාසය සන්තෘප්ත ප්‍රවෘත්ති විකාශය ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ වැඩිම පිරිසක් නරඹන නිසැක නිතරග අංක 1.
Derana 24, Sri Lanka's #1 news source.
For 7. Three overs to go, and this is the last ball that was banged in short. And look at Nuanidu, very impressed. Every time you see him bat. Oh! Taken! For a moment I thought it was in the gap. And straight down the man's throat, a deep backward point.
Wahab Riaz couldn't believe it. He's stunned. He's astonished. But this man Ford keeps on picking up wickets.
Could you believe it? It's a good grab in the end. Matthew Ford just cannot keep himself out of the wickets. 1 for 23, 2 for 16 his returns before today. He's now one ball into his fourth over. He's got 4 for 9. And crucial, because this guy can hit a good ball. He goes for 3 Wahab Riaz. It's 87 for 8, Galle Gladiators.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
Galle Gladiators, Candy Falcons, Jaffna Kings, Dambulla Aura, Colombo Stars.
දෙසැම්බර් 6 වෙනිදා සිට අද දෙරණ 24 නාලිකාවෙන්
Nipun Malinga, just 22 years of age, making his debut in this edition of the Lanka Premier League. Gets off the mark, just working the angle from round the wicket.
Yeah, the last wicket. The batsman couldn't believe it, and the bowler couldn't believe his luck. It was a long hop, hit straight to the fielder. Nice grab.
Try lip reading what he said. 88 for 8. Nuanidu Fernando, 28 of 31. Is it 2 sixers? Another quick single. What do you think, Tino? Now, 2.5 overs to go. At the current rate, they'll certainly get more than 101 unless they get bowled out. But you think 120?
Wow. I think Sikandar Raza and his fielders will be hoping they can wrap this up before it gets to 100. And that will definitely be the target, in my opinion. With Matthew Ford bowling, 3 balls to go. The way he's bowled today, he might get another. Otherwise, 110 maybe be the max.
That's pace off by Ford, Matthew Ford. Just bowling into the wicket. Nipun Malinga expecting the ball to come on a little bit. She's enjoying the Shakti, and she's also happy that she's been seen on the giant screen. Good follow-up delivery. Much quicker than that delivery. The previous one pays off. This one pays on and bounce.
Ball with women vigor. This young man. Very impressive.
I've liked him. I really have liked what I've seen in Matthew Ford. Yeah. Now, he's a good meter ahead of where he normally would be standing at the crease. And I think maybe somebody's just given a word to Matthew Ford before, and that's why he's coming with that aggressive bouncer. While bowled, good communication between the players if that's the case. Fine leg comes into 45 in the circle. That is a magnificent spell from Matthew Ford. 4 for 11 from his allotted 4 overs. Galle Gladiators 89 for 8 with 2 overs to go.
අපේ රට තීරණාත්මක සන්ධිස්ථානයක පැවසිය යුතු දැනුම්බත් විය යුතු දේ බොහෝයි. ජනතා විශ්වාසය සන්තෘප්ත ප්‍රවෘත්ති විකාශය ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ වැඩිම පිරිසක් නරඹන නිසැක නිතරග අංක 1.
Ada Derana 24, Sri Lanka's #1 news source.
Into the last 2 overs, plenty of options available. Noor Ahmed to bowl the 19th over. And incidentally, you spoke about Matthew Ford, his best ever T20 bowling figures, 4 for 11. 16 dots in those 24 balls tells you a story. This man has 12 legitimate deliveries and 2 partners possibly, one and one to come, to try and give goals something, to try and defend. They had a great chance of getting into the last 4. They have batted first. Unfortunately, just missing out on a huge opportunity doing that. They're running 1 here. They'll want 2. They'll come back for 2.
He's been holding the helm. Navindu has scored 31 or 33 deliveries, has been a painstaking innings. Had to absorb a lot of pressure, had to show respect to the bowlers. But now it's time to break free. This will not do.
That's been his role. He has not been able to play his normal game. He had to just make sure that he held on to one end, was hoping that his partners would stay with him. But he hasn't really been able to get a partnership going because wickets have been tumbling at the other end. Oh, having said that, when it's there to be hit, he's willing to take his chances, just like that.
The moment you heard that sound, the dot sound of the bat, you knew where the ball is going.
It's a good hit because it's the wrong one. It's pitched quite far back. He's had to pitch it from outside the line of that off stump. And as you say, once you heard that sound of leather on wood, you knew that ball was going a long, long way.
This time only a single. He's got 9 of the first 4 balls. Take a look at his 6. Down the track. He's a tall player, using all his height. And then the distance.
A bit of drama. Yeah, you were right. That was a googly. He came down the track and he backed away from the leg stump. Wasn't afraid. And by doing that, he was able to flat back the ball out of the park. Good technique shown by the youngster.
Oh, this could be taken. Should be taken, I think. Oh, no! Put him down. They'll come back for 2. He got underneath it. One would have thought that Ford couldn't have done anything wrong today.
Goes to show he's only human, not ethereal.
Well, the problem here is that he didn't steady himself under the ball. Still moving when the ball came in.
That's more runs. Should get a... In fact, it might go away for 4. It is. Huge over. They make 15 off it. It's 104 for 8. Right, look at that building. That's huge, the last one. Now the question of Dambulla I can't see them having too much of an issue, hopefully, to get to the 104, 105 or whatever score that they set themselves. This is Sikandar Rasa bowling the last over. Wide down the leg side. Gone for 4. And it's a great start for the Galle Gladiators. I see a great start because it's not about winning or losing this game. It's about making sure that Dambulla doesn't get to the target within those stipulated overs.
Kept going wide. Unstoppable for the wicketkeeper.
Catches the call. He won't catch it. It's 4. It's 2 boundaries on the first 2 balls. Now, it's a bit surprising here, Amir, because they got Pramod Madhushan, who could come in and bowl. He's bowled just 2 overs for 11. I'm a bit surprised that Sikandar Raza has come on for the last over.
Maybe that was the plan. Execution wasn't there. Started the over with a wide. Oh, these been friendly deliveries. What's happening there? 116 on the ball.
And that's his 50 of just 39 balls, but I just don't believe this decision. I feel Sikandar Raza has undone all his good work with this 1 over.
Agreed.
Talking about wanting to chase a target in a stipulated number of overs. Oh, 6! He's already gone for 18. And this is turning out to be big. I was thinking 120. Tino said 115. They're now 122.
Just keep an eye on his head. Even after the connection, he was looking at the pitch. Yeah, this has been a fantastic inning. Accelerating at the right moment. Again, taking the area route and has disappeared. What a big over.
Roshan, I was sitting there, I said 115, thinking that Madhushanka would bowl the last over.
Well,
it's now 1-3-2 for me.
No. That is not right. We were not ever debating the last bowler who was bowling the last over.
No, he's been innovative. He improvised. You know, he's in contention.
For the Taras award.
Yeah.
Well done, Tino. But you couldn't. You were found out. That was a lame answer. 24 runs in the over. Can he finish off with a 6? He doesn't, but he's got enough. He's done enough damage. They've scored 42 runs of 17 balls, and Sikandar Raza has given 25 runs of 6 balls. And could this be the over that the Galle Gladiators were yearning for?
I'm not sure about Galle Gladiators, but they have made it difficult for themselves. Scoring 120 runs in 12 overs. Yes, it was a difficult ask, but they had a chance. Now, the last over of 25 runs has taken the game slightly away. But good performance by Dambulla. They looked like a team. Forgetting about the last over. Yeah. Navanidhu was the man who carried the sunshine for Galle Gladiators, scoring 63 from 42 deliveries. That was a brilliant innings under pressure.
Just take a look at the bowling. Just look at Raza, 15.5. He's bowled in his 2 overs, 1 for 31. But 4 for 11 was outstanding. Lairu Madhushanka 1 for 16. And time now to go. Time to join.
Oh, he's going again. He could be dead here. Backer is calling for the replay.
20th match of Lanka Premier League 2022, Galle Gladiators versus Dambulla. Or as you know, Galle Gladiators won the toss and they decided to bat first. And right now, they set the score at 129 for 8. The target remains as 130.
130ක ඉලක්කයක් මම හිතන්නේ අවසන් අවස්ථාවේ අවසන් පන්දුවාර කීපෙදී තමයි අපි දැක්කේ ප්‍රහාරාත්මක ප්‍රතිකරණයක් ඒ වගේම නෝනිදුගේ ප්‍රතිකරණය නේද කලින්තු
මම හිතන්නේ බලන්න වටින අවසාන පන්දුවාර දෙකක් ලකුණු 40ක් ලබා ගත්තා. අවසාන පන්දුවාරයේදී ලකුණු 25ක් ලබා ගන්නවා. ඊටාම අසීරු අඩියකනේ හසිත හිටියේ ලකුණු 89යි කඩුළු 8යි 18 වෙනි පන්දුවාරයේ අවසන් වෙද්දී ලකුණු 129කට ගෙනියනවා. නුවනිදු ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ තමන්ගේ හැකියාව ඉතාම හොඳින් ප්‍රදර්ශනය කරනවා. තමන් මොන වගේ ක්‍රීඩකයෙක්ද කණ්ඩායමට අවශ්‍ය මොහොතේදීම අත උස්සලා ඔහු මම හිතන්නේ තරඟාවලිය තුල ඔහු ක්‍රීඩා කරපු හොඳම ඉනිම අද ක්‍රීඩා කරා කිව්වොත් හරි.
අනිවාර්යෙන්ම ලකුණු 63ක් රැස් කරගන්නවා. අපිට හැකියාව තියෙනවානේ දර්ශී ස්කෝර් කාඩ් එක ගැන බලන්න.
ඔව් ස්කෝර් කාඩ් එක පැත්තට ගියාම හසිත තනුක දාබරේ ලකුණු 7ක් රැස් කරලා තියෙනවා. 4 පාරවල් එකක් සමග කුසල් මෙන්ඩිස් ලකුණු 17යි 4 පාරවල් 2යි ඕෂද ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ ලකුණු ලබා ගන්න සමත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අසාද් ෂාෆික් ලකුණු 6ක් ලබා ගන්නවා 4 පාරවල් එකක් සමග. අසාම් ખાન ලකුණු 15ක් ලබා ගන්නවා 6 පාරවල් එකක් සමග. නුවනිදු ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ ලකුණු 64ක් ලබා ගන්නවා පන්දු 42කදී 4 පාරවල් 3ක් සහ 6 පාරවල් 5ක් සමග. ඉමාද් වසීම් ලකුණු 3යි. නිමේෂ් විමුක්ති ලකුණු 5යි. වහබ් රියාස් ලකුණු 3යි. නිපුන් මාලිංග ලකුණු 3ක් ලබා ගන්නවා.
අපිට ෆර්විස් මහරුෆ් සම්බන්ධ කරගන්න පුළුවන් ආර් ප්‍රේමදාස ක්‍රීඩාංගණයේ සිට මේ අවස්ථාවේදී අපිට තොරතුරු ගෙනෙන්න. අයිබෝන් මහා.
අයිබෝන් හොඳ තරගයක් බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා හිතනවා. කෙලින්ම මම ප්‍රශ්නේ අහන්න කලින්ම උත්තර දෙන්න. මේක ලකුණු 130 දඹුල්ල කණ්ඩායම ඊළඟ වටේට තරගය කරන්න නම් ඒ කියන්නේ අනිත් දසලම් කරන්න නම් පන්දුවාර 11.1කින් එල්ල කළ යුතුයි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඕවරට ලකුණු 12ක් වගේ ප්‍රමාණයක් තමයි ඔවුන්ට තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් හොඳ තරගයක් බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි. වෙන ඕන එකක් වෙන්නේ පළවෙනි ඕවර 11යි බෝලයක් ඇතුලේ තමයි.
කොහොමද ඒක ගෙස් කරන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාව? ඔක තමයි අහන්න ගියේ. අහන්න කලින්ම උත්තර දීලා ඉවරයි. ඔක තමයි දැනගන්න ඕන වෙලා තිබුණේ අපිට මේ වෙලාවේදී. නුවනිදුගේ ඉනිම ගැන ක්‍රීඩා කරමු. ඒ ක්‍රීඩා කරපු ඉනිම ගැන අපි කතා කරොත් මහා
මම හිතන්නේ ලාබාල ක්‍රීඩකෙක්ට කාලෝචිත ලෙස එයාගේ අර අපි කියන රෙස්පොන්සිබිලිටි කරන් සෙල්ලම් කරා කියලා ස්කෝර් බෝඩ් එක අරන් බැලුවොත් එම සෙකන්ඩ් හයි ස්කෝර් එක 17යි. ඉතින් ෆස්ට් හයි ස්කෝර් එක 63යි 17යි කියන්නේ ලොකු ගැප් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් එයා කරපු හොඳ දේ තමයි හොඳ ක්‍රිකටිංగ్ ස්ට්‍රෝක්ස් ගැහුවේ. ඒ කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අන්තිම ඕවර්ස්වල ගහනකොට ගොඩක් අපි දකිනවා ගොඩක් ප්ලේයර්ලා බෝල් එක හයියෙන් ගහන්න ගිහලා ෂේප් එක නැතුව ගොඩක් බීට් වෙනවා. නමුත් බැට්ස්මන් කෙනෙක්ගේ අන්තිම ඕවර්ස්වල ගහනකොට වෙනස තියෙන්නේ එයා අන්තිම ෂේප් එක තියාගෙන හොඳ පාරවල් එල්ල කරන්න. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ ඩෝනිද ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ කියන ක්‍රීඩකයා කාලයක් තිස්සේ ක්ලබ් සිස්ටම් එකේ දිගටම ලකුණු ගහගෙන ඇවිල්ලා මේ ලැබෙන අවස්ථාවෙන් ප්‍රයෝජන ගන්න ඕන කියලා අපි කියන හැමදේම අපි අමතසම කියන එකක් තමයි අවස්ථාවෙන් ප්‍රයෝජන ගත යුතුයි තරුණ ක්‍රීඩකයන්. LPL කියන්නේ අපි ඊළඟට ලංකාවට ගහන්න ඉන්න ක්‍රීඩකයන් බිහි කරන ලීග් එකක්. ඉතින් නුවනිද ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ කියන ක්‍රීඩකයා දැන් කාලයක් තිස්සේ ඩොමෙස්ටික් හොඳට කරන් ඇවිල්ලා මේ ලෙවල් එකේ ඒකත් මේ ලෝකෙම බලන ලීග් එකක්. මේ ලෙවල් එක ගහනවා කියන්නේ මම හිතන්නේ සෑහෙන ප්‍රශංසා කළ යුතුයි ඒ සෙල්ලම් කර විනිමට.
මහා ඒ වගේම නුවනිදු ක්‍රීඩා කරපු විදිය බැලුවට පස්සේ එක් පැත්තකින් විකට් වැටිගෙන යද්දී ඔහු බොහොම ඉවසීමෙන් ක්‍රීඩා කරනවා. 18 වෙනි පන්දුවාරය වෙද්දිත් ඔහු ලබාගෙන තිබුණු ලකුණු සංඛ්‍යාවට වඩා මුහුණ දීලා තිබුණු පන්දු සංඛ්‍යාව වැඩි. නමුත් අවසානයේදී පන්දු 42කින් ලකුණු 63ක් වාර්තා කළා තමයි ඔහු ඉනිම අවසන් කරන්නේ. මේ වගේ එහා පැත්තෙන් විකට් වැටෙන වෙලාවක තමන් අටැක් කරන්න හරිම වෙලාව හඳුනා ගැනීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි කතා කරොත් නුවනිදු.
ඒකෙන් පේනවා මේ ක්‍රීඩකයා කොච්චර මැචුව් ක්‍රීඩකෙක්ද කියලා. ඒකත් අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දකින දෙයක් තමයි විකට් යන්න පටන් ගත්තාම සාමාන්‍ය ඕන එකට හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් නෑ මමත් ගහනවා කියලා. හැබැයි එහෙම කරේ නෑ. එයා අන්තිම ඕසරන් ඇදලා ගැහුවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේම දඹුල්ල කණ්ඩායමේ නායකත්වයයි ඒ වගේ ඩිසිෂන් එකක් කල්පනා කතා කරනවා. ඒක ප්‍රමෝද් මදුෂාන් පන්දුවාර 2යි දැන් මේ මම දැන් ලකුණු 7කට වගේ. ප්‍රමෝද් මදුෂාන් අපි දන්නවා හොඳට යෝකර් පන්දු දාන්න පුළුවන් පන්දු යවන්නේ. ඉතින් ඕස්පින කෙනෙක් ඒ වෙලාවේ රයිට් හෑන්ඩ් කෙනෙක්ට දාන එක සැහැණ ලොකු මේ අවදානමක් ගන්නවා. ඉතින් මම හොට හිතා ගන්න බෑ සිකන්දර් රාසා ඒ ගත්ත අවදානම ඇයි ගත්තේ කියලා. ෆාස්ට් බෝල් ඉවරලා තිබ්බනම් ඕවර්ස් ටික සිකන්දර් රාසා ඒ රෙස්පොන්සිබිලිටි අරන් දැම්මම මට හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් ෆාස්ට් බෝල් විශේෂයෙන් ප්‍රමෝද් මදුෂාන් ලංකාවට ශ්‍රී ලංකන ක්‍රීඩකයෙක්ගේ ඕවර් දෙකක් තියෙනකොට ඇයි යා සිකන්දර් රාසන් තමන්ව දැම්මේ කියන එක පිළිබඳව මට පොඩි ප්‍රේලිකාවක් තියෙනවා.
විශේෂයෙන්ම අපි ස්ටැට්ස් අරන් බැලුවත් සිකන්දර් රාසා අවසාන පන්දුවාරයේදී ලකුණු 25ක් ලබා දෙනවා. ප්‍රමෝද් මදුෂාන් පන්දුවාර දෙකම යවලා තියෙන්නේ ලකුණු 11කට. කොහොමුණත් මහා අපි මේ ලකුණු සංඛ්‍යාව පන්දුවාර 11යි පන්දු ගණනාවකින් ගන්න එක සම්බන්ධයෙන් කතා කරොත් තියෙන තත්ත්වයක් එක්ක මේක යන්න පුළුවන් ඉලක්කයක් කියලා හිතනවද?
මම හිතන්නේ මට තේරෙන ප්‍රශ්නය කලින් මොකක්ද අහන්න දන්නේ කියලා. නිකන් හරි දඹුල්ල කණ්ඩායමට මේ රන් චේස් එක කරගන්න බැරි වුණොත් හේතු වන්නේ අන්තිම ඕරේ. අයි කියලා මම කියන්නේ කිව්වොත් නිකමට හරි ලකුණු 100ට 105ට වගේ තිබ්බනම් ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කියමු 110ක් කියලා ඕවරට ලකුණු 10යි ඕවර 11න් ඉවර කරන්න ඕන. ඒතකොට සැහැණ වෙනසක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මෙවැනි අවස්ථාවකදී 129ක් 130ක් ගහනකොට ගහන්න තියෙනකොට 11.1 ඕවර්ස් වලින් සයිකොලොජිකලි පොඩ්ඩක් අර ෆිගර් එක පොඩ්ඩක් අමාරුයි. හැබැයි 100ක් 110ක් වගේ තිබ්බනම් ඕවරට 10යි. එතකොට පොඩ්ඩක් ඒක වෙනස්. ඉතින් මං හිතනවා නිකන් හරි දඹුල්ල කණ්ඩායම මේ තරඟාවලිය ඉදිරියට යන්න බැරි වුණොත් ඒකත් මේක තාම කරන්න පුළුවන්. හොඳ තනනිල්ලක් තියෙන්නේ පන්දු හොඳට පිටතර එනවා. ඒ වගේම දඹුල්ල කණ්ඩායමේ බානුකයි දසුන් නැති වුණත් තම හොඳ පිටිකරුවටයක් ඉන්නවා. හයියෙන් ගහන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රීඩකයෝ ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් මම කියන්නේ මේක තාම දඹුල්ල එළියේ කියලා. නමුත් නිකන් එළියට යන්න හේතු වුණොත් මම හිතනවා මේ පන්දු වාරය තමයි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට වෙන්නේ.
මහා හොඳ තනතිරුවක් තියෙනවා කියලා කියද්දි 89ට 8ක් වැටෙනවා ගෝල් කණ්ඩායමේ. ඒකට හේතුනේ ඔවුන්ගේ පිතිකරණය සහ ඒ පහරවල් තෝරා ගැනීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් තිබ්බ ප්‍රශ්නයක්ද සම්පූර්ණයෙන් එහෙම බලද්දි?
මම හිතන්නේ ප්ලෑන්ස් අරන් බැලුත් මම හිතන්නේ එච්චර හොඳට ප්ලෑන් කරා කියලා තමන්ගේ ඉනිම මුලට එකේ ගාලු කණ්ඩායම. හැබැයි ඉතින් මම ඕක වෙනවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන්. මේක ගාලු කණ්ඩායම කොළඹ කණ්ඩායම සහ දඹුල්ල කණ්ඩායම එච්චර හොඳට ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ නැති හොඳට ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ නැතිකොට මේ වගේ මිස්ටේක්ස් ගොඩක් එනවා. ඉතින් ඒක තමයි ලොකු වෙනස.
අපි ගත්තොත් අද ෂෙවෝන් ඩැනියල් සහ යලිත් ලසිත් ක්‍රූස්පුල්ලට අවස්ථාව ලැබිලා තියෙනවා දඹුල්ල කණ්ඩායම වෙනුවෙන් ඉනිම ආරම්භ කරන්න. හොඳ ආරම්භයක් ලබා ගැනීම මේ අවස්ථාවේ කොච්චර වැදගත් වේද? මේ ක්‍රීඩකයන් දෙන්නක් ගත්තම ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රීඩකයෝ නේද?
මම කමෙන්ට් වල ඉන්නේ. මට යන්න වෙනවා මම කමෙන්ට් වල ඉන්නේ.
හොඳයි අපි ඔබව යවන්න ඕනේ. බොහොම ස්තුතියි. ජාත්‍යන්තර විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයක කණ්ඩායමට එකතු වෙන්න ඕනේ. තරගය ආරම්භ කරන්න දැන් සියලු කටයුතු සූදානම්. අපිටත් යන්න පුළුවන්. මාරුෆ් එක්කම තරගෙට.
මම හිතන්නේ තව පොඩි වෙලාවක් තියෙනවා කලින්දු මේ ක්‍රීඩාංගණයට යන්න. මම හිතන්නේ මහරුෆ් අයියට දැම්මම අඬ ගන්නවා. ඒ තමයි යන්න නැත්තේ. අපි ගත්තොත් එම කලින්දු දැන් අර කලින්දු ප්‍රශ්නය අහපු අවස්ථාවේ ෂෙවෝන් ඩැනියල්ට ලසිත් ක්‍රූස්පුල්ලේ ජෝර්ඩන් කොක්ස් හොඳ ආරම්භයක් ගන්න පුළුවන් වුණොත් ඇත්තටම දඹුල්ලට මේ ඕවර්ස් 11ක් ඇතුළත ලකුණු මේ ටාගට් එකට යන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා හිතන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඉතින්
මම හිතන්නේ අපි හැමෝම දන්නා අපහසු ඉලක්කයක්. මීට කලින් කළා නැති එකක් නෙමෙයි. මේ ලකුණු සංඛ්‍යාව ලබා ගන්න බැරි නැහැ. අනිත් එක මං හිතන්නේ ඉතාම තීරණාත්මක අවස්ථාවක්. ඒක ලබා ගත්තොත් ඔවුන් ප්ලේ ඔෆ්ස් වලට යනවා. නැත්නම් යන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ හින්දා මං හිතන්නේ ඔවුන්ට තියෙන සියලුම දක්ෂතා යොදවලා මේ අවස්ථාවේ ක්‍රීඩා කරන්න බලයි කියලා අපිට හිතන්න පුළුවන් හසිත.
ඕවර්ස් 11යි තියෙන්නේ. ඕවර්ස් 11දී ඇත්තටම අපිට හොඳ ප්‍රවේගකාරී පිතිකරණයක නිරත වෙනවා. සමහරවිට දකින්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කඩලු දැවි ගියේ.
හොඳ තරගයක් බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්.
තරගයක් බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද අපිට මෙහෙම ටාගට් එකක් ලැබුණේම නෑ මේ LPL තරගාවලිය ඇතුලේ. ඉතින් බලමු පන්දු යවන්නනුත් ලේසි නැහැ. අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම මේ ලකුණු සංඛ්‍යාව ලබා නොදී ඉන්න හැකියාව තියෙන පන්දු යවන්නන් පිරිසක්ම ඉන්නවා. ඉතින්
Yes, I think now we are all set to go back to the ground. Let's go witness how whether Dambulla will be able to chase this. Let's see how they go to the target.
A little bit further, because for them to win and qualify into that fourth position, they need to score 130 in 11.1 overs or less.
Not just an indication of how costly that last over was, which went for 25. If it had gone for 10, that would mean that Gladiators have about 115 on the board. Or I would have needed to get those runs in 11 overs. So hence, a lot easier. Right now, the required rate is 11.62. Now, when I say required rate, I'm referring to the rate they need to go at to get ahead of the Galle Gladiators. Now the interesting thing here in terms of the net run rate, it's between these two teams. So if the Aura net run rate goes up, equally there'll be a dip in the Gladiators run rate. So it's up against each other, which is a little easier in terms of closing that gap.
Tushara with the new ball. He is a handful. Here we go. The run chase starts now.
Nuwan Tushar, man in form for the Gladiators, starting proceedings. I just feel 11.1 overs, 130. The biggest question for me was, they got 2 overs of Pramod Madhushan. Why bowl Sikandar Raza in the last over? He's going to bowl Yorkers, and if he misses, he's going to go. Pramod Madhushan has the option of bowling Yorkers, throw balls into the pitch, and he has done it for Sri Lanka as well. So a question has to be asked, in case in that over, if Pramod Madhushan had bowled and gone for 10, 15, whatever it is, but still you'll have the net required run rate something close to 10, and that is quite gettable. Now I'm not saying it's off it, just that looking at it, I feel it'll take a mammoth effort by this Dambulla effort.
It was a tentative batting effort by the Galle Gladiators, except for this man. Geez, when he bats, it's good to watch. He's tall, hits through the line. Now that is a find. Nuwan into Fernando.
Yeah, his second half century of the season, scored 56 earlier. That was against the Kandy Falcons.
Yeah, he took his time, and once he got his eye in and he saw Sikandar Raza of the last over, his eyes lit up. Before that, he used his side to his advantage. Good cricketing strokes. The last over, 25 runs in that over altogether. In the end, 5 sixes and massive.
Really is good to see a youngster absorb pressure and backing his skill later on to close up on the gap. It's not only about going out there and playing shots. Be smart about what you do, and that's what Nuwan into Fernando did. What mindset will Galle Gladiators be in? Will they be thinking of the net run rate and trying to delay a loss, or will they look to attack?
No boundary just yet. I take your point, Viz Maruf, and the bowling option used for that last over. Madhushan definitely should have been used. Only 2 overs he bowled in the entire innings. Conceded 11 runs, so all history now. The focus will be on run scoring. How can they get 130 in 11.1 or less overs?
Tactics to come into big part Kusal Mendis, decent bit of backup by Wahab Riaz, is to get his best bowlers bowling in the first 11 overs. If Nuwan Tushar is going well, bowl him is 4 overs. Rimad Wasim is bowling well, bowl him was 4 overs. That should be the tactic.
I like that. You're thinking ahead of the game. On the other hand, it should be one mindset from Dambulla Aura. They need to at least strike 1 boundary per over.
They're lucky that that throw missed the stumps. If not, their best striker, Cox, would have been gone.
Balden! As good as you will get from Tushara. It was full, swinging into the left-handed Daniel, and it cleaned him up. First wicket down.
This is not the first time we saw this delivery from Nuwan Tushar in this year's LPL as well as before. Slingy, decent seam position, and Siobhan Daniel probably thinking it's going with the angle, but at the last moment came back enough with pace. That was 134.8 clicks to get rid of Siobhan Daniel's castle. Gone for 2. Dambulla.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
පාරිමෝඩ් එක ඔන් කරගෙන අපි දවස ගෙවනවා. ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් ටික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා.
වංචි රස බලකායේ onion biscuits දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert.
ඔක්තෝබර් 30ක දක්වා රුපියල් බිලියනයක් වටිනා loyalty data GB මිලියන 20ක් නොමිලේ. SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබැඳියාව.
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරුම් ලොක්කා වෙළඳපොලේ අඩුම මිල රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
Russell, what can we expect from him, given what you've seen from him in the past?
Well, the 3 games we've seen him, going by that, he needs to surprise us. Now, having a close look at this, look at that delivery. Why it's hard to negotiate is it swings late, very, very late, and that's very similar to how Lasith Malinga delivered it. Ball will be just rolling through, and right underneath your eyes, that's where it swings. Then it's even more difficult to play it, and lots of things that Nuwan Tushara, the way he's executing, just like Maling, even that slower ball which dips on the batter.
Riaz to partner with Tushara. No Imad Wazim with the new ball just yet.
Yeah, this delivery rolling back few years from Lasith Malinga, definitely. Late swing, beaten all ends up. A 90-year-old Siobhan Daniel beaten by the beauty of a delivery. Got to be set. Late swing pace, and in the end, big gap.
Could have been a toe crusher. Might have been a little bit straighter.
What we've been seeing today is plenty of swing. Even Matthew Ford got some motive, and Pramod Madhushan when he started now. Nuwan Tushar as well as Wahab Riaz. Beautiful length. Jordan Cox tried to go through the offside on the up. Nice delivery, Wahab. Beautiful.
He's holding back a wee bit in terms of his weight. Waiting to play those pick-up shots probably off the back foot. More that length. Wahab was full. And on both occasions, his feet went nowhere. Jordan Cox, required rate up to 12.5.
And I could understand why he's doing that. Of course, had the chance of playing a few matches before this one. Jordan Cox would have seen what transpired in the first half of this match. When Dambulla or a ball, we saw that extra bounce on offer. So as an opener, you're not pushing yourself to get too far forward very early. You're waiting a little bit longer off the back foot.
Polite inquiry from Cruz Pulle. Heard him on the stump mic. Coxie, ball coming in.
Yeah, good information sharing, an important part of the success of any partnership out in the middle. Players helping each other out.
A bit on Lasith Cruz Pulle, someone that been knocking on the door for a while. I would say probably to the A-team squad. Done a decent domestic season, just concluded. And this is where you make your mark. Pressure is on. When a team needs you, especially when you don't have the senior players, this is where you step up and let the world watch you.
That's that bird. That's that bird, I'm sure. One that eyed you, Maha. That's the one.
Surprised you have a good memory, Russell.
That's how it is. I don't have notes with me. There she goes.
In all honesty, even today when I was seated for the English at Nerali and Ahmed, I was thinking, not today, not today. Maybe our host, but not today.
If you're wondering what they're talking about, Hafiz Maruf was greeted with a dropping from above. Last time he was on the pre-show. great channels from Wabrias. He's just outside the off stump.
There we go. I told you so.
I'm waiting for my lucky thing to come in. It hasn't arrived yet. It's almost been 24 hours. Where is it, Darren?
Stay patient, my friend. It will come.
Shout boy.
In the gap. Good improvisation from Crosspoulet. Gave himself room leg side to hit offside and executed very well. Boundary to end the over. 10 for 1.
Maggie Papare spicy chicken flavor noodles. Spicy venasata set venna.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Bread Week. A week for professionals.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
බඩගින් මායම් බිඳින්න. Witsbury Black Magic.
SLT Mobitel mobile non-stop locker. ඔබ කැමතිම app නමයට ඇති වෙනකන් data.
The same from all over the globe. Mazaplay.net Lanka Premier League. Action in the final league match of the tournament before we go into the playoffs. Was that a chance for a wicket? And just enjoy this stroke from Crosspoulet. Last ball of the last over. That's another one. Chipped it to short mid-wicket. Again, this man, Tushara, always in the thick of things with wickets.
He's been a revelation right throughout this tournament. Nuwan Tushara, bowling to his strength, bowling it full, swinging it in. And Lasit Crosspoulet, for a moment, his eyes lit up seeing that full toss. The pace doing it. He's quite good in the leg side. Young man Nimesh Shumukti playing his first game for Galle Gladiators holds on to it, and this man, as I said, is knocking on that door in that national team with the bowling figures he has been having. Crosspoulet gone for 4, Dambulla 11 for 2.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
මංචි රස බලපයි ස්නැක් රැකල දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
ජීවිතේම ජර්නි එකක් ගෑව පාට පාට. හැබැයි මම තමයි මගේ ලයිෆ් එකේ නැවිගේටර්. ෆ්‍රී එකේම පාවෙනකොට life is like magic. Apple වගේ simple නේ ජීවිතේට logic. හෙලදිව ice day. ඕන වෙලාවක set වෙන drink එක.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster. මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි. Maggie Papare spicy chicken flavor noodles. Spicy venasata set venna.
Matthew Ford, top score of 9 in the tournament so far. More for bowling all-rounder. Opens his account with a boundary. Good balance shown straight away. Is this a sign of things to come?
Got into a good position. Front leg out of the way so he can just open the face of the bat and access that ball rather than be forced to just chip it into one area. That's the key. Now on Nuwan Tushara, on his performances over the years, especially last year's Lankan Premier League, he was in the frame to play for Sri Lanka. He actually toured Australia in February as a part of the team, but that's when Matisha Patirana, another slinger, played in the Under-19 World Cup, and he got a call up to the Chennai Super Kings. Played a couple of games and the buzz was all around him. The focus changed. He actually beat Nuwan Tushara on that hype in the pecking order. But seriously, the way Nuwan Tushara has been operating throughout this tournament, he deserves a look in. He deserves to be up there to gain his national colours, because his execution, his skills have definitely improved.
14 wickets to Tushara, 15 wickets to Carlos Brathwaite, the leading wicket taker in the tournament. That's beautiful. Kept his eyes on the ball, he gave himself room, but made sufficient contact to beat that fielder at backward point.
They're playing the options right, Jordan Cox. There was no fielder outside the circle in the offside. There was long on, there was a square leg. Gives himself some room. What he does well is to keep a good head position. Tushara doing the right thing, attacking the stumps when he sees all three stumps. But in the end, Jordan Cox got enough bat to squeeze it through score point boundary.
Took the words out of my mouth, Maha. That's been a great asset for him as a bowler. That line that he bowls, always an attacking one, wicket to wicket often. Any mistake by a batter, he is in business all the time. End of the third, 20 for 2.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles, original equipment manufacturer approved, Nax Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
Life boy itarum lokka velena pale aduma mila rupial 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
Darana's Grand Christmas Sale දෙසැම්බර් 12 සිට ඩෙබිට් හා ක්‍රෙඩිට් කාඩ් පත් සඳහා අමතර 12%ක වට්ටම. පොලි නැතුව පාසු ගෙවීමේ ක්‍රම. නත්තල් අසිරිය ඔබේ දොරකඩ.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Many impressive partners and sponsors on that list. Title sponsor Mazaplay.net. Wahab will continue. So far so good. If you're a Galle Gladiators fan, they've kept that run rate in check. Still on the 7th at the moment. Bit of innovation from Matthew Ford, didn't quite execute well, but a reminder, Dambulla Aura, they need to win this game in 11.1 overs or less.
Yeah, we're seeing that required rate at 6.53, that is to win the game. That's of no use. At the moment, that required rate is up to almost 15. Do you know what they need? They need what the Colombo Stars did against the Jaffna Kings in Pallekele in the last 10 overs. That Angelo Matthews and Benny Howell show. The last 10 overs in that game, when they were chasing 175, they scored 124. Unfortunately fell short by 6 runs, but that's the rate. That's the type of impact that's required.
Maybe an effort similar to what we saw by Nuwanadu Fernando with the bat when Galle had that opportunity.
They got Sikandar Raza still in the dugout. I mean, he's quite capable. He was in superb form in the last game he played. Got a 40-odd, hammered a few sixes, a good option. And I'm going to throw a little surprise here. That's a nicely played by Matthew Ford in front of square. A valiant attempt at the field at deep square leg in no effort. Just want to throw a wild card in there. Sachita Jaytilaka, last year I remember during LPL, he scored some useful cameos for Dambulla. So if he gets in, he has that muscular power, he probably can clear it, but do that. I think these two batters got to set up the foundation even better.
Geez, I feel for him. Jayatilaka, an effort that we probably won't see again. It was special. And, since it was a no ball, it didn't count, and we might not see that replay for that reason. That was like an Andre Russell swing. And follow through.
I like the way he kept the pose. The bat was nowhere near the bowler. Take a look at this for the pose. Make a postcard out of it.
Well, the required rate in essence for Dambulla Aura to qualify into that 4th place and go into the playoffs. It's 15, so that's minimum 3 boundaries per over. That's why he's teeing off Matthew Ford. And it's a collective effort required from these 2 batters at the crease. Jordan Cox just hasn't been able to get going. Just 1 boundary from his 8 deliveries faced.
I think Darren, more than Jordan Cox batting badly, I think the bowling has been top class. Both Wahab and Nuwan Tushar has been hitting magnificent areas, but it's quite uncomfortable for these 2 batters, especially today. In the night game, we've been seeing some swing movement, even when Dambulla was bowling, especially Matthew Ford. So I think just a matter of a couple of boundaries here and there. Jordan Cox will be a different player, but do that, they can encounter an experienced Wahab Riaz and a skillful Nuwan Tushar.
Missed out. Definitely missed out. There were clear intentions from Jordan Cox. Good end to the over for Wahab Riaz and Galle Gladiators. 4 overs gone, 25 for 2.
පාරි මෝඩ් එක ඔන් කරගෙන අපි දවස ගෙවනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා මංචි රසබලකායේ අනියන් බිස්කට්ස් දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert.
අම්මයි තාත්තයි විතරක් නෙවෙයි දැන් අපේ සීයත් ගෙවන්න හෙළකුරුවලින් ස්කෑන් කළා ගෙව්වා
සරලත්වෙන් රටම සවිපල ගන්නන අපේම හෙළකුරු
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරුම් ලොක්කා වෙළඳපොලේ අඩුම මිල රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
That 3rd over was a good one for Dambulla Aura. Beyond that, they've been below what's required. As you predicted, Pervez Maruf, Galle Gladiators opt in for a 3rd Tushara over.
Rightly so by Kusal Mendes. Just get that done and dusted. And then forget about it. You just want to get to the top 4 to have another bite at that apple. And probably bowl 1 more rows of Wahab Riaz as well. And then probably get Imad Wasim. That's how I feel Kusal Mendes should go.
Nice pace, nice change in the length. He could be sucked into thinking that he will go full, but he has that change up.
Yeah, it gets you thinking about your feet. Swinging late, the toe crusher coming in. You set yourself up in a certain manner and then surprised with the short ball, you're in no position. Well directed too. Doing it nicely. The Galle Gladiators building on the pressure. 15 plus is that required rate to make the playoff.
Good 100 stop by Wahab Riaz. So the support coming for the bowlers.
Fast bowling mate looking after the fast bowling mate. Wahab Riaz. Yeah, in the end, a decent effort. Saved 3 runs. Just on Nuwan Tushar, it's predominantly been 3 deliveries. The toe crusher, 4, the bouncer as a stock delivery, a surprise delivery, and the dipping slow ball, which is so hard to play. Something that he has mastered it over time.
That's good. That's impressive. And it's a dazzling stroke from Jordan Cox. He finally breaks the shackles.
No one in the deep on the offside. That's the reason he's giving himself width and trying to swing it pitched up. He'll open the face of the bat and swing. If it's short, he'll try to work it over third man. Those are the two options he has. Now there's a deep point. Midon has come into the circle. Deep square leg, stays out. A little bit more to think of. Where will Nuwan Tushara go? Probably full.
Radar off on that occasion, just down the leg side.
Yeah, when in doubt with this action, pretty sure anyone would go for. As a batter, another option is to go down on one knee, try to scoop it. Not much batting left. I mean, Chamindu Wickramasinghe can hit the long ball, but he hasn't played much cricket. And Sikandar Raza, I think he has to do the job along with these two batters in the middle.
Just a single. Sikandar Raza, of course, getting into form. 45 in his last game after only scoring 14 runs in the previous matches. He's been way short of runs in this tournament. I wonder if he might be thinking about retiring out one of the two batters, maybe out in the middle.
The reaction makes me think as well, Darren, I'm with you. It'll be another one, just like up in Pallakali, just like Ashin Bandar was. Slow ball again by Nuwan Tushara. Matthew Ford was trying to go over probably long on, and in the end managed only a single towards square leg. A good over by Nuwan Tushara. End of the 5, 33 for 2.
App තුනටම ඇති වෙනකම් data. SLT Mobitel Triple Buddy.
More love, more fun. Ritsbury Chocomo.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Brand Week. A week for professionals.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles. Original equipment manufacturer approved. Nax Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
The balls, but we're not talking of a normal game here. We're talking of a game where Dambulla need to get these runs in 11.1 overs, so which means they have 6 overs and 1 ball to get 97. They've been trying really hard. They've connected a few, just like that. He gets a boundary, Matthew Ford, but they need many more than that.
Yeah, they need to connect a few more, Roshan. I think we're in for an exciting one because they're not going to stop. Matthew Ford struggled to get some away. This will work quite nicely.
Every time he has pitched the ball up was bothersome for the batters. But don't understand why Bahar Priyas pitches one shot every over. And result has been the same, a boundary.
I actually don't think he does it on purpose. That's a bad ball. It's a short ball that he's bowled. When he bowls a bouncer and he does it purposefully, you know he's bowled a bouncer.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It was definitely a bad delivery. Third man in the circle. Oh, another one over mid-wicket. Might run away, I don't think. Just slowed down. For a moment I thought it would. The timing wasn't there. But it doesn't matter. They need to be scoring runs of every ball. They can't afford to have those dots. They've given away 14 dots at the moment.
Yeah, for me, either they do it in next 6 overs or get out in 10 overs. Simple. They don't have to drag this game.
He's asked for a change in the field. Deep mid wicket on the boundary, mid on in the circle. He'll carry on going short. Maybe not. Good thinking. Well bowled.
We talk of experience. That was on display there. He set him up quite beautifully, and look at what he does. Pace of the ball, wide of the batter, no chance. He just couldn't reach it.
Yeah, he was promoted up the order. Ford to get 50 of 20 deliveries. That was the thinking. It's not happening.
Well, Riaz had me fooled.
over the years. He had quite a few. A good option, the slow one.
Again, pace of the ball. Dambulla is losing this battle. They may eventually get to 130, but it will be of no use. Because as you said, Amir, it's do or die. If you don't do it in 11 overs, it won't mean anything other than just a consolation win. It might be good for their pride, but it won't do anything else.
It's cliched. If they are playing for their pride, they should find a place in playoffs.
Now, what I meant there was they're trying to salvage something of a rather dismal show. And time is running out. This is over number 6. Just 2 balls left. And usually aggressive Cox. He hasn't been finding the boundary as regularly as he has done in the past. We do know that he hit those big shots, those sixers. They haven't been coming unless he's biding his time and really looking to try and launch. But then, if he's biding his time, he's running out of it.
Yeah, he didn't find that length to get underneath and hit the ball aerial. He's been forced to play all along the ground. Most of the bowlers, they have looked to pitch the ball up to him. And that's why he scored only 15 from 12 deliveries. That's good. That's very good from Wahab Riaz. 6 done, 42 for 2.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. view app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා. කන්න තම ආස නිසා ස්නැක් ක්‍රැකර් ඉල්ලනවා. මංචි රස බලපයි ස්නැක් ක්‍රැකර් දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරුම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳ පොලේ අඩුම මිල. රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. view app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
Body life at the breakup කරගෙන සල්සා නතනවා. ඕන වෙලාවක සල්සා රසට කට්ටියරොත් වෙනවා. මංචි රස බලකයි සල්සා බිස්කට්ස් දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Well, Sikandar Raza to come in next. So much of chatter going around. That's the confirmation that the power play is done and dusted, which means that the Galle Gladiators, they'll have a little bit more breathing space. Nuwan Tushara has gone for 23 in 3 overs. He's going to bowl through his 4 because Galle Gladiators, they got one objective, and that objective is to ensure that Dambulla doesn't get to the target within that stipulated 11 overs and 1 ball. What happens after that? It's of no use. It is inconsequential because Galle will go through anyway. Matthew Ford on strike. Hits it over the top. Hits it over the top. He gets a 6 off the first ball. That's a good start to the over. We haven't seen those in the last 6.
It's a very good start to the over. And you know what I like about that? He kept still. It gives you the best opportunity to gauge the line, the length, and play the correct stroke to the ball that's been delivered.
And Roshan was mentioning the last over ball by Sikandar Raza, where he conceded a lot of runs. Good start. They should convert this into a big one. But a good comeback from Tushara. Well-directed bouncer.
It's a good bouncer, yes. I just have the concern that he's bowling the bouncer and he's got a 45 in the circle. Now, I know he'll be thinking, okay, if he hits it, I've got a deep mid-wicket, I've got a backward square on the boundary. But that position, not in control, if he's getting any bat on that, it's flying down to find leg for a boundary. So I think that must also just be considered. If you're going to bowl it, you can bring your mid-off into the circle, make sure you've got that protection just in case.
Yeah, but I thought it still was a very good bouncer. Pushed him back. Surprised him. Gets an edge. 4. That's the danger of going full with that short third man. And they've got 10 of the first 3. Is this the big over they've been waiting for?
It gave me a feeling that the bowler was looking to take the pace off. Yeah, roll of the fingers over the seam. Well, the result is good for the batting side, Dambulla. 10 of the over so far.
Well, the intention was right. It was pace of the ball. That's why he was having that short third in that circle. But what Matthew Ford did was he swung so lustily that an edge in the gap was 4. On the full. Only a single. He was advancing. So just couldn't get underneath it. So he had to just knock it down to long off.
And that's how power play panned out. Lost a couple of wickets. Runs didn't come as they would have liked. Few boundaries, but the bowlers were not challenged. Yeah, flat batted it. Running hard, running hard. Get too easily.
Well, I can tell you that Dambulla had it very much under control. Well, in the first 19 overs, just 2 boundaries against the spinners. And that was how miserly they were. And then just see what happened. Look at the number of boundaries in the 20th over. 25 runs. And I'm sure there'll be lots of eyebrows raised with that decision of Raza to bowl that last over. Flicked in the air. That's 6. That's the big over they wanted. 19 runs. They've got to 61 of 7. Which means they're now looking to get within striking distance. 69 of 24.
Life boy, itarum lokka. Velena pale aduma mila. Rupial 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water-repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert.
Work කරද්දී නෑ barriers. Slam කරනකොට නෑ boring. Data ගණනම් නෑ problems. Life එකම දැන් full happening.
බඩගින් මායම් විඳින්න. Ritsbury Black Magic.
This pair has come in very good time. 29 goals. Just take a look at that last 6 by Jordan Cox. Just rubbing a bit of salt into the wound of Nuwan Tushara, pitching it up. And the timing. These were the shots that he was hoping he could start playing. Certainly the Dambulla was expecting him to play a few shots, but he's now started. And hopefully he might be able to get them a little bit closer. Now they need to go at around 15 runs and over. 25 balls is what they have to get 69 runs, if they are to qualify, that is. Obviously, that's the plan, isn't it?
That is. 2 points at the end won't help them. Oh, that's well played. He's inside the line of the ball. It's gone all the way. This is what he was elevated for.
He was amazing with the ball. And how about that stroke? Stunned everybody, didn't it? Fetching the ball from outside the off stump. Now what good the batsman did on that occasion, moved outside the line of that delivery to be able to hit the ball towards fine leg. Another good start to the over.
This time, 4 behind point, short and wide, given pace, given width. That looks tells you a story. Imad Wasim, he tried hard, but just couldn't get through.
Pitch the ball up, Fahad. Pitch the ball up. When you're going to learn. Yeah, a better effort was needed from Imad Wasim. That's why Wahab Riaz was a bit annoyed.
Well, you can't be annoyed with that. Short and wide. You've given the ability for the ball to be hit away.
Well bowled, well bowled. He didn't anticipate that. That was coming. Slow and wide, it was coming. He slowed it up We've seen Wahab Riaz do this. And I think Matthew Ford wasn't able to pick it.
It was in the slot to flat bat it. And Midoff was in the circle. He missed out. That was, for me, a huge moment in this game.
Now, Midoff was up in the circle that last ball. Wahab Riaz just running in the danger area. He's been warned about that. Midoff's now gone back to long off. Third man in the circle. What's he going to bowl here?
Slams it. A ball too late. Well, that was the shot he needed of the previous delivery with Midoff inside the circle. Again, pace of the ball. I mean, how useful do you think it would have been for Dambulla had they got that boundary, 14 of the first 3, and they had 3 deliveries, 3 4s, or 10 more runs?
Yeah, inexperience, isn't it? You know, the batter should have asked himself that, okay, I've made use of those short pitch deliveries and I've picked up boundaries where the bowler is going to go. He should have been ready for it.
That's the second.
It's been given a warning by the umpire.
Will that be called a wide? No, it's not. That is ever so close. It just kept going across.
That is a lot of pace off the delivery. And I think he's got something on Jordan Cox here. He really does seem to struggle when pace is taken off the ball. Give that ball some pace. He loves to play good, correct cricket strokes. But at the moment, looking to get after the bowling. Once the pace is off, he seems to be struggling.
Wahab has pulled it back tremendously the last 3 balls. Oh, that was asking. That was great anticipation. He got into very good position. He anticipated the slower ball. And 17 runs of the over. Some consolation for Dambulla. 78 for 2.
Whether it's the last slice of pizza you've been eyeing, or the cheer and warmth of a job well done, you see, joy is something you share with those you love and trust. And that is why we make banking enjoyable. HNB, a joy to bank with.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර subscribe කරන්න.
Right, now this is another big moment. Amir, you spoke about a big moment when he missed out on that drive. Imad Wasim, pace of the ball, but with an oldish delivery. Catch it is the call. It's going to fall safe. They have to come for 2. They will come for 2. Matthew Ford has enjoyed pace on the ball, but off the ball, both these batters have struggled.
Yeah, he moved outside the off stump to deal with that slow delivery, which was pitched up. Christmas arrived early for Ford. That was a present. That's great improvisation. And that's what I was going to say. Imad Wasim doesn't enjoy bowling when he's put under the pump.
Well, Matthew Ford is turning on the heat for Dambulla Aura. 84 for 2 now in 8.2 overs. He's moved very quickly along to 47 and 25 balls.
Was giving himself a little bit of room. He was aiming into that gap at extra cover. What Imad Wasim does well is he brings that ball back into the right hander. Now 7 of 3. They need a big over. They just can't let Imad Wasim get away with a single digit over if they're to win this game from here. Gordon Cox gets it over extra cover. Jordan Cox, I beg your pardon. That's 4. That's a very good shot. He picked his gap. Short, stood up. Now 11 of 4.
That was the last thing needed by the Galle Gladiators. A misfielding. Navindu was the fielder. who was the highest scorer of Galle Gladiators innings.
Oh, he was looking at that, but I still feel a proper cricket shot maybe. The option was good, I wouldn't say no, but missed out a precious delivery last ball. Pace of the ball, just a single. Very, very good comeback. 90 for 2.
Mood එක positive දවසම fun බරයි limit නැති friends නැති ලෝකෙම සුන්දරයි life එකත් lemon වගේ sweet sour mix excitement එකක් කොහෙන්ද ගත්තේ නැතොත් risk අපි හැමම lucky ඕන දෙකට වෙන fix හෙළදිව් ice tea ඕන වෙලාවක set වෙන drink එක Maggi papare spicy chicken flavor noodles spicy වෙනසට set වෙන්න
Tap TikTok non-stop TikTok යන TikTok data plan දින 7ක් සඳහා රුපියල් 115ක් සහ දින 30ක් සඳහා රුපියල් 385ක් පමණයි. අදම ඇක්ටිවේට් කරගන්න. SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබඳියාව.
Calypso mix එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා. Calypso එක්කලා youth එකම කුල්මත් වෙනවා. හඳුන්වාදින මංචි රස බලකායේ නවතම රසය. Calypso biscuits.
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert.
Lifebuoy ඉතරම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳ පොලේ අඩුම මිල. රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
Darana's Grand Christmas Sale දෙසැම්බර් 12 සිට 80ක් දක්වා වට්ටා. 1 රුපියලකින් අදහ ගන්න බැරි තෑගි දිනා ගන්න අවස්ථාව. දැන්ම ප්ලේ කරන්න.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
අපේ තාත්තා දැන් ලියන්නෙත් හෙළකුරු වලින්, ගෙවන්නෙත් හෙළකුරු වලින්. ස්කෑන් කළා ගෙව්වා.
සරලත්වයෙන් රටම සවි බල ගන්නන අපේම හෙළකුරු.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Brand Week, a week for professionals.
More love, more fun. Ritsbury Chocomo.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Whether it's a possibility of something new or that playful moment between the two of you. You see, joy is something you share with those you love and trust. And that is why we make banking enjoyable. HNB, a joy to bank with.
SLT Mobitel mobile non-stop ලොක්කා. ඔබ කැමතිම app 9ට ඇති වෙනකන් data.
Aquaproof 7-in-1. Unparalleled benefits in one high-performing waterproofing paint with water repellent property. Nippon Paint, the coatings expert.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles. Original equipment manufacturer approved Nax Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක download කර subscribe කරන්න.
Who is ahead?
Go for it. Obviously, you'll want to back the batting side. We've seen some amazing thing happens in the in the T20 format.
Taken. What a brave delivery that was. He was not afraid to toss the ball up. Vimukti picks up a wicket of the first ball.
I like Nimesh Vimukti's reaction immediately after that catch. Just look at it. Tossed it up, as you said, brave, hit it hard. And then look at the reaction. Look at the reaction. I like it.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
Body life එක break up කරගෙන salsa නතනවා. ඕනේ වෙලාවක salsa රසට කට්ටියරොත් වෙනවා. මංචි රස බලකායේ salsa biscuits දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Lifebuoy ඉතරම් ලොක්කා. වෙළඳ පොලේ අඩුම මිල. රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
cheese රසට යාළුව set එක smiley බෙදනවා. cheese buttons රස දැනුනම කොයි කවුරුත් මට වෙනවා මංචි රස බලකායේ cheese buttons දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරුම් ලොක්කා දෙලන පලේ අඩුම මිල රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව
බඩගිනි මායම් බිඳින්න Ritsbury Black Magic.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Brand Week, a week for professionals.
With square leg, singles aren't going to work. 25 runs is what he gave away of 6 balls. This is that wicket. Now just imagine, Amir, if the score, if he gave away, shall we say, 10 runs in the last over, it would have been 115, which means they could have still made it in 11 overs. Catches the call on the bounce. Which means for that extra 15 runs, all they had was in the equation just one ball, 11.1. 115 in 11 overs, 11.1, 130. Sikandar Raza. Well, he's hit it a mile. He's got 8 of the first 4. Mickey Arthur's holding on to his chest. I hope he's all right.
But he wears his heart on the sleeve.
I think that's what he was holding on to.
Well, there's not much for stand-in captain Sikandar Raza to stand around for. They need runs, they need lots of them, and they need them quickly. Plays the spin as well, clears the boundaries with ease.
Ball, very well bowled, very well bowled. This is precious as far as the Galle Gladiators are concerned. Just a single. Well, they needed a 6 or a 4. It's only a single.
Yeah, this has been a brave over from the left armour. And how good this game has turned out to be for this all-rounder Ford.
App 3ටම ප්‍රති වෙනකන් data. SLT Mobitel Triple Buddy.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
ලයිෆ් බෝයි ඉතරුම් ලොක්කා දෙලන පලේ අඩුම මිල රුපියල් 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි Maggi Papare Spicy Chicken Flavor Noodles Spicy වෙනසට set වෙන්න
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර subscribe කරන්න.
Just out of the reach of the fielder. Got a hand hit, but it was always going to challenge to Shara.
Two to start with. 29 of 6 deliveries. Can Dambulla do it? Disbelief everywhere.
They need 5 sixes. 5 sixes at least. Is that one? Is that one? Just short of the fielder. Just a single. So with every delivery, the chance of qualifying lessens for Dambulla Aura. Some of you might be thinking about that 20th over when 25 runs were conceded.
Definitely got to think like that. That brings Matthew Ford's 50. What a brilliant game he has had. Bowled well, picked up 4 wickets, and comes out as a hitter, promoted up the order. And that young man from Barbados has put up a show for Dambulla Aura. Maybe a bit too late, but remember, Dambulla should be going forward.
Lots of personal pride, no doubt, for young Matthew Ford. Oh, gone, gone, gone. Confusion continues. It's not been Sikandar Raza's night. There is confusion and Matthew Ford is run out. And anyway, Dambulla was out of it because the equation is very, very tough. But Matthew Ford, what an innings.
And not the ending that innings deserved, but in the end, that's sort of a campaign for Dambulla right throughout.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
Lifeboy itarum lokka. Velana pale aduma mila. Rupial 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles. Original equipment manufacturer approved. Nax Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
It's hard to keep up with the new when you're listening to the same old Slim Brand Week. A week for professionals.
අලුත්ම TikTok සහ Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster මාසෙටම රුපියල් 297ක් විතරයි.
Body life එක break up කරගෙන සල්සනතන බා.
Gone for the big shot, goes high in the air, it should go all the way for 6, yes! Sikandar Raza shows his power after the slight blemish in the previous ball. He nails this one for 6.
They still need 19. They just got 2 deliveries left to do that to qualify.
And again, should be out. Yep, catch taken. So the pressure and the situation telling on Sikandar Raza. Attempting another 6. Gives Imad Wasim his second wicket.
The previous delivery, it was in the arc in position for.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
Body life එක break up කරගෙන සල්සනතන බා. ඕන වෙලාවක සල්සා රසට කට්ටියරොක් වෙනවා.
මාංචි රස බලකායේ සල්සා බිස්කට්ස් දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Lifeboy itarum lokka. Velana pale aduma mila. Rupial 125කට පවුලටම ආරක්ෂාව.
Hi. Oh no. Huh? Huh? Hi.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර subscribe කරන්න.
Lahiru Madhushankar and Wickramasinghe, 2 new batters, and by virtue of that delivery being bowled, Galle Gladiators, they've now qualified in that 4th spot for the playoffs. So congratulations to Kusal Mendes, just absorbing the pressure. Previous over saw 2 wickets fall, 1 via run out, and then Sikandar Raza not change the outlook of the game and maybe the hopes of this Dambulla Aura team diminishing.
That was fired in by Imad Wasim. Sikandar Raza looking for those sixers, holding out to the man at long on, and Dambulla eventually falling short by 17 runs of their target. But nevertheless, they maintained a magnificent run rate. They're going at better than 10 runs an over. They needed to get there in 11 overs and 1 ball. Well, they had it under control until the last over. I think we've emphasized about it. We have emphasized on it.
A real disappointment, because we've seen a massive difference in the attitude shown by Dambulla Aura in this, the 20th match. Evidence of what will transpire in the playoff round. Of course, Jaffna Kings and Kandy Falcons will play in that first qualifier, and the eliminator will be between Colombo Stars and Galle Gladiators.
I remember doing the stint with you, Darren and Russell, and mentioned about having leaders in the team. What about the local players passing the information? Knowing Fernando, players who knows him as commentators, me, myself, Rashan, Russell knows about how strong he is against spin bowling. And that's where I think the communication was at an error to Sikandar Raza to get himself bowling in that 20th over. I'm not the character like to rub salt into the wound, but I'm emphasizing about the communication, the seniority, the leaders in the middle. You got Pramod Madhushan, is one of their best death bowlers going around with 2 overs, and Sikandar Raza bowling it. I think that's where the communication had a big error.
I also feel that Noor Ahmed's previous over would have been an indicator. He just took him on and batted with so much of ease. The 6 he scored off that last ball. 119 for 5, 12 overs gone.
Maggi Papare Spicy Chicken Flavor Noodle. Spicy venasata set venna.
The largest paint supplier of Japanese vehicles. Original equipment manufacturer approved, Nax Premila 2K is the most premium quality auto refinishing solution you will ever need.
It might be a getaway from the routines of every day, or even a grand story of empowerment. You see, joy is something you share with those you love and trust. And that is why we make banking enjoyable. HNB, a joy to bank with.
Alutma TikTok saha Insta Dialogue Fun Blaster. Masatam rupiah 297ක් විතරයි.
A rest day on December 21st. There will be a double header in store for you. Qualifier 1, Kandy and Jaffna. And the eliminator, Colombo and Gaul, will battle to go forward in this tournament. Of course, Dambulla Aura 10 runs away from another victory in this tournament, and they've been denied the chance of qualifying because of this man. Standout performer with the bat for the Galle Gladiators, and he struck it a long distance. So impressive, his ability to hit sixes, 5 sixes in his half century.
Such a promising young player, definitely with a massive future as far as Sri Lanka is concerned. He'll definitely be, I'm sure, wearing Sri Lankan colours very, very soon, because he looks that kind of a player. He's had a very good domestic record. He's just confirming what everyone thinks about him.
Well, we'll start the business end of this tournament like a Jaffna Kings. Tisara Pereira and his men will be aroused for the challenge against the Kandy Falcons. They've not beaten the Falcons this season, and they'll be aware of that psychological advantage in that qualifier 1.
The good thing is that the team, those first 2 teams, they have another opportunity. They'll have another bite of the cherry. It's just that eliminator, that's the sudden death, 3rd and 4th. It's the 1st and 2nd. That's the advantage of being 1st or 2nd, where you've got another chance.
Is it long enough? Is it long enough? Nope. It's short of the boundary line. Another wicket for Galle Gladiators. But the end is nigh.
Take a deep breath. Paint better, breathe better. Graphene Stone Paint.
අපේ අම්මා දැන් shopping ගියාම ගෙවන්නෙම හෙලකුරු app එකෙන්. ස්කෑන් කළා ගෙව්වා.
සරලත්වෙන් රටම සවිපල ගන්වන අපේම හෙලකුරු.
Cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා. Cheese buttons රස දැනුනම කොයි කවුරුත් වට බෙනවා. මංචි රස බලකායේ cheese buttons දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
ඒට කැපෙන්නේ නැතුව ෆුට්බෝල් වර්ල්ඩ් කප් එක ලයිව් බලන්න. View app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර subscribe කරන්න.
Jatilaka with the bat this time. completed a brilliant catch at deep backward square off a no ball. That was the last wicket to fall. Kramasinghe. 8 more required for a win. Dot delivery to end the over after 13, 122 for 6.
Sri Lanka is at a crossroad. So much to say, so much to know. More Sri Lankans turn here than any other newscast. Undoubtedly, that's why this is Sri Lanka's #1 most watched newscast across all platforms.
The Derana 24, Sri Lanka's #1 news source.
What a match we've seen. At one stage, Galle Gladiators never looked like they would get to 129, thanks mainly to that innings from Nyawanadu Fernando, unbeaten 63. And then heroics with the ball from Matthew Ford, then that blistering innings. Now this is the eliminator. That will be the second match on the 21st of December. Angelo Matthews, they must come very good against Galle Gladiators. Galle Gladiators sneaking in that 4th position, and it will be a battle of sorts.
And both the teams, Galle and Colombo, still haven't played their A game. That's where I think whoever brings their A game on the particular day will triumph and will have another opportunity to get to that final. Nipun Malinga, a product from Mahinda College. Galle could hide decent bounce on his day. He can be a lethal customer. He comes in the 14th over. This man, the fast bowler, can do. But this man on screen, what a catch he took previously. That confidence will be high while he's batting.
Well, that was brilliance all in vain, as you said, that catch of a no ball, but it was brilliant. It could be classified as possibly one of the best catches of the tournament, if not the best, because he had to make sure that he doesn't go over the line, and also had to protect himself. He could have hit his head. He did everything right, held on to it.
Matthew Ford, last couple of days, he has touched something gold. Bowled well, and today got a promotion. Come in and use that long handle, and that he did, boy. Beautiful shot up, front foot, back foot. Started really well against Nuwan Tushar, who bowled decently well, took him on. And he's a player just 21 years old and showing a lot of maturity. The young boy from Barbados.
Just a single. Still good intensity in the field from Galle Gladiators. They will know that they're still in this tournament, and there are standards to be maintained in all departments of the game.
In fairness, I think, well, let's look at that catch we were talking about. It was unfortunate, it was a no ball, but let's forget about the no ball. Focus on the catch. Brilliant. Grabbed it from thin air. And really had the presence of mind that time to make sure that he stayed inside the ground. Didn't touch the boundary. But very quickly, if you look at Dambulla and Galle, Darren, Maha, you will agree that Galle has looked the better team. They've performed better. Dambulla appeared to be completely out of sorts, maybe barring this game, the way they have played. But over a period of time, I think they've been disappointing.
I think they deserve where they're finishing, number 5th. Overall, decent tip on paper. It has no use if you don't put the performance in the field, and that's been a disappointing season for the Mullora. 14 gone, 127 for 6.
දෙහි දුවදරුවන්ගේ වෘත්තීය අධ්‍යාපනය නංවාලීමේ අරමුණින් අද දෙරෙන එඩියුකේෂන් හා ජාතික තරුණ සේවා සභාව එක්ව කිනේන වෘත්තීය මාර්ගෝපදේශන පුහුණු පාඨමාලා වැඩසටහන පෙළ
Skills Development
සෑම සෙනසුරාදා සහ ඉරිදා දිනකම උදෑසන 7:30ට අද දෙරෙන එඩියුකේෂන් නාලිකාවෙන්.
Three required from 36 balls. Imad Wazim extracting turn. What a ripper that was. Pitch Midland leg and spun away from the right-hander. Madhushankar had no answer. Sneak through a leg by. So on the cusp of another win. Dambulla Aura. Only their second win from 8 matches. This will be. Again, speaks of the inconsistencies we've seen from this Dambulla Aura team throughout the tournament. That's the winning shot. That's the blow that will seal another win for Dambulla Aura. They will celebrate, but it will be subdued. They go on to win by 4 wickets, but still denied a chance of getting into the playoff.
Thinking, where was I before this? Unfortunately for Dambulla, it's been that kind of a season. Up and down, inconsistent. In the end, pays the price.
There is that clean strike. A little too late. If you're a Dambulla Aura fan, it's an emphatic win, winning by 4 wickets and with just over 5 overs to spare. That man on screen, Matthew Ford, showing his all-round skills. 4 wickets, a half century. Only in his 3rd match, the young West Indian played for the West Indies under-19 team in that World Cup in South Africa, and this will enhance his reputation. This outing and the performances with bat and ball surely will resonate in everyone's mind for a long time. Here is the coach, Mickey Arthur. A bittersweet moment for him, a win, but just not by the margin to get them into the playoff round. Moin Khan, on the other hand, will be the happier of the 2 coaches because Galle Gladiators now confirming their position, 4th on the standings at the end of the league stage, and Dambulla Aura showing enough quality with the bat to cross the line. 134 for 6, thanks mainly to Matthew Ford and his maiden half century in LPL, and great support from Jordan Cox. Galle Gladiators, they were put to the sword because Dambulla Aura, they needed to score 130 in 11.1 overs or less. So it was a lot of attacking strokes early on. Tushara was expensive. He picked up 2 wickets. And Imad Wazim as well with 2 wickets, along with support from Bing Mukti, who had that solitary wicket in the end. So look at this match number 20, the last of the league stage. Again, we've seen great entertainment. It was a battle that had significance in it. Galle Gladiators elected to bat first, got to 129 for 8. That last over producing 25. Aura going on to win with overs to spare and wickets in hand. They win by 4 wickets. So again, confirmation of what will transpire beyond today. Kandy Falcons will square off with the Jaffna Kings in Qualifier 1. The first match on December 21st, and then the second, Colombo Stars and Galle Gladiators. They will play in a virtual knockout. The winner goes to that Qualifier 2 and play the loser of the Qualifier 1. And hopefully we get 2 deserving finalists. So lots of action. Don't go anywhere. We still have the post-match presentation. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.